and that's coming to an end. Starting Monday, Crystal will be my co-host a few times a month. But other than that, it's going to cycle through different people. But we are both ready to do these new awesome things. An end of an era, yes. End of an era. A good era. But end of an era, Skits. Thank you for being here, Skits. I love you so much, man. But anybody is welcome to come up tonight as we go through this journey.
Whoa, do you have like chat things? Also, is my sound all right? I'm using a microphone.
Chat things? What do you mean?
It was like filtering out, like when Skit said end of an era, it did that like eyeball thing. Where it's
yeah, like, that only mods can see it. I don't know how to fix that. It's been doing that a lot lately. I'm not sure if that's something I can fix or not.
Let me see if I can do something. What journey? Journey is the
journey is me and Crystal are both going to spend a lot more time trying to figure out our own pages. So this is the finale. This is the finale of the Me and Crystal show. Even though it will forever be the Me and Crystal show, she will be doing her own thing. I will be doing my own thing, but it will always be Joyful and Crystal.
It really will. Did you know this? You don't know this, actually, Joyful, but my middle name is Joy.
Oh, I did not know that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I always liked your name, of course, and it will always be. But you guys,
that's Crystal Joy Smithington in southwestern New Hampshire. That's where you're at?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, exactly. Doug said my middle name's Joel, and I'm lying to all of you.
Big W Crystal, for sure.
Crystal, Joel, Mezzo.
Yeah.
The YouTube has already changed to JA Debates. I haven't decided if I'm doing that with my TikTok name or not yet. We'll have to, kind of figure that out. But YouTube will from now on be JA Debates because that's what the channel's about. And even when I am not present to do debates, I will have people that will fill in and have these logins. And there will be still a pair of people doing debates every Monday and Thursday.
And that might be me, you guys. I might be somebody who fills in for Joyful. And Joyful is definitely going to be coming over and doing Decon Q&A. And we, of course, will also, share the pastor and the deaconess with you now and then. So we're just, Joyful and I just both have some places we want to grow with our channels. And we're really excited.
If you are friendly and you want to come up, that is awesome. If you are not a friendly and you want to come up, and we will still debate people tonight. That's the great thing about tonight. It is about celebrating everything this channel is and was and will forever be. So if it's debating, we will do that tonight. If it is hanging out with a friend, that's awesome too.
I am going to be doing more conversations with Crystal. Those will be during the daytime. I like to do a little bit more conversation style, and so we'll be doing things like talking about people's favorite Bible stories and questions that I have, like why is God so against the LGBTQIA, but he's okay with slavery? So, things like that. Different questions that I have.
I will also be doing lives that just ask the question why. Just why?
Just why?
Yes.
That is amazing. That is the best question that you can ask.
There's actually a
just
song
why
by Yoko Ono. Wait, is that her name?
No,
John Lennon's wife.
Hey, Andy, how are you tonight? Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
I am 40 years old. Yes.
Okay. And are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
All right. What do you got on tonight's topic?
I was just going to ask your guys' thoughts on God. That's all I was going to ask is, what is your thoughts on God?
I think that God in a general term is just something that people use to cope. I think that God in a theistic term, depending on which theist you're talking to, the Christian God, I think, is a monster. The Muslim God, all Abrahamic gods, I think, is just a complete monster. But I think there are gods out there that are not necessarily a monster, but I still feel like it's something that we should try to graduate from as a humanity of believing these make-believe beings as factual.
I think that he's kind of a dunce. Hence the background. That's supposed to be God.
Well, I mean, with my experience with Jesus,
can I tell you what I think? I am agnostic with an I. I think that we can't even define a God.
I mean, how could you even disagree with that? How big the universe is, how big the cosmos is, how big everything is. How can you put God into a box is essentially what you're saying, right? How can you put God into a box?
No, I'm saying that every single person makes up their own mind on what a God is and no two match. And until we can come up with a clear definition of God, it's almost ridiculous to discuss it.
Hold on.
Right. She means like there's like the deistic God. So like she means like there's the deistic God idea where like God could just technically be the universe or like nature. To some people think that God is this like corporeal being that walked amongst people. You know, that's kind of more of like the Jewish take.
Jesus.
Or like Jesus. And then there's also like Paul thinks of God as more of this like celestial cosmological being that is kind of like everywhere and omni, all these things. So yeah, it's just kind of hard to like pin down exactly what people mean when they say God.
But it's almost putting God into a box, right?
Yeah, it's like
I mean, essentially, it's putting God into a box.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, that there's no way that if there is a higher being that we could ever know what that higher being is. Therefore, there's no point in trying to interject him into other things because we have no way of knowing if he exists, what his attributes are, or anything else.
I get that, and I understand that. Death scares me. And I'm just saying, I'm being upfront and I'm being real. Yep. Dying scares me. And it does scare me, you know, because you're going from something that you know to an uncertainty, something void of life, right? And thinking about that, I mean, I guess that's where religion comes into play and looking for truth. Does that not scare you at all?
Well, it did for a long time. When I first left Christianity, I was worried about what if I'm wrong? What if I spend eternity in hell? And at this point, I'm like, you know what? I know what a brain is. So we have the science to tell us what a brain is, what a mind is, why we feel the things we feel. And all of that happens right here. We can measure it. We can look at it. We can see it. And if I know that I am dead and my brain is rotting in the ground, that means those things in my brain are no longer going to function. So even if this spiritual thing goes down to the ground, everything I was is decaying in the ground. So this spirit thing, I don't even know what that is. So if it does undergo the wrath of God, it's not the faculties that I'm using because we can measure those by seeing my brain do those things, which will rot.
You're saying with the brain, is there a difference between the heart and the brain? And what I mean is the spiritual inside, as opposed to what you think and how you feel. There's a separation, right, between the heart and brain.
Well,
there's a difference.
If you believe in the Bible, yes.
Whoa, wait. That's a bold statement. So what do you mean by that?
Me or Fat Jesus?
I'm asking you, what do you mean?
Yeah, so the heart pumps
as a person.
Okay, so when I'm feeling or thinking things, they can look at my heart all they want, and they might see a different rhythm of heart depending on if I have anxiety, depending on if I'm emotional in some way, but they're never going to be able to rate my thoughts from my heart. My thoughts don't happen in my heart. It only happens in my head, so I think that's a nonsense question, is what I'm saying.
The only reason I brought that up is because I think they're separate. I think they're two separate things, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not.
Do you think with your heart?
Sometimes, yeah. I'll
Interesting.
think with my heart over my brain sometimes, for sure.
No, you don't.
You don't think so?
No, because your heart pumps blood throughout your body, and your brain is what does the thing. Is what thinks.
Yeah,
Does the function of thinking.
Yeah, if your brain or if your heart could think, there'd be studies showing these electrical fields that are sparking when you have certain thoughts, but you don't have that. You only have that in your brain.
No, what I'm saying is when there's
my heart could think, it would say, "Lay off the Boston cream."
Facts.
I mean, that would probably be a good thing, right? Because I love Boston creams. They're amazing. They're the best. But no, I want to keep eating.
Crystal, what do you think?
I like Boston cream too.
Me too.
Yes.
I don't
Amazing.
like. Yeah.
Yes.
I do need a heart.
Like
You got muted, Joyful, for some reason. You're muted. We
Give me
can't
one.
hear you. Also, make yourself big.
Hold on. May I interject just a second? I think there's a lot of problem with the religion nowadays because it's judgmental and people are saying you're going to hell, you're going to do this, you're going to hell.
And make believe.
Well, I mean,
Jesus said.
There's a slippery slope. I believe in Jesus and I love Jesus, but I think the way Christians are nowadays, condemning people to hell, you're not God and you're not even close. And you're talking about this instead of loving people.
Andy, didn't you start this off with saying you're a friendly?
I'm sorry, I was not trying to be unfriendly there. I'm sorry.
No. I was just confused
No.
because usually if somebody said they're a friendly, that would be they are on our side. Like they think.
No, I'm a Christian. I'm not saying I'm not. Listen, you're a human being. Are you not a human being? I love you. You're a part of my species, so I love you. 100%.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Species, that's a good word.
So what I
That
would
is
say,
good.
I like that word, species.
so Jesus does say though, like you're all going to the lake of fire. You're going to be burning and gnashing of teeth and wailing and all of these things. That he will decide who is the righteous and who is not. You know, who is he'll change or separate the lambs from the goats. Howdy. I don't think I've ever gotten one of those. The wheat from the chuff or something like that. I can't remember what it is. But that is just them following Jesus'
Much
example,
appreciated.
right? Isn't that just Christians like acting like Jesus by saying, hey, you're going to go to hell because that's what Jesus did?
Listen, when I hear these people judging people, it breaks my heart, is all I'm saying.
I mean, I agree
Yeah.
with you
Love
there.
each
Can I
other
ask a,
is all
can I
I'm
ask a question?
We
Yeah.
should love each other. And I mean,
It's like, what's your age and are you a Christian?
Yes, I'm over 36. I'm not a Christian, no, but I
Okay.
I am a member of the Deconstruction Discord, which has been
Oh, nice.
which has been a great community.
Yes. I think we're streaming over there right now, aren't we, Benny?
On the YouTube channel, yeah.
Yep.
But I just had a question for Andy,
YouTubes.
if you don't mind.
Oh no, absolutely not. Tonight is about friendlies coming up, It's kind of a free for all tonight because this is a finale for me and Crystal because we've been live so long together, and we aren't splitting ways, but we are going off to do our own focus on our own things, and so this is kind of a finale show. So you're absolutely fine to come up and do that in this show.
Okay, great. If I guess this is a general question. If Jesus were to come back right now, would he accept non-believers?
If they were of the tribe of Israel.
I'm asking Andy. I don't know if he wants to answer, but
You have to be connected to the source. I mean,
what is the source?
the Spirit of God.
What is
John
that?
3,
What is that?
Holy Spirit.
Right, but what is that?
You have to be.
How do you
born
detect
again.
that? How do you do that?
They say repent, but it's looking for Him and looking for truth and becoming one with
Okay,
God.
so I've been looking for him. I've been looking for him for 38 years, and I've turned over everything,
Why?
and I still haven't found him. Where?
I don't
where
believe
can I find
that. If you were looking for Him, you will find Him.
Listen,
That's
don't
not.
call me a liar. I don't like being called a liar by someone
I'm
who
sorry.
has an imaginary friend, so please don't do it again.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Andy.
You should, because when you call me a liar, you make me feel like I haven't been looking for God, and I have. I've known all of these people for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now. They know me. They know that I've been on TikTok live searching. I've been asking Christians. Every one of them I ask, help me find Jesus. Can you point me into the direction? I'm trying to look. All right? And I have not yet been able to find him. So I'm going to ask you the same question. What can I do to meet Jesus?
Comes from the heart. I mean, if you find Him, you find Him. I mean,
My heart pumps its blood. So can we try again?
Is there a specific place I need to go? Is there a person I need to speak to? Is there, like, what's the process?
I mean, what is truth?
Wow, that was a crazy pivot. Okay, so
No, it's the truth.
no,
What is-
but hold on. Do you have any study to provide us with that you think
Nope.
anything from your heart?
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
that. Nope.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So if everything we know is that we think from our brain, and Jesus here and Psych are asking you, where can I find Jesus? And you're saying, or how do I believe in Jesus? And you say from your heart.
Yep.
Why would we think that that's anything other than incoherent jargon?
Well, I'm not saying you want it. It takes faith. That's where faith comes in. What is faith? What's the definition of faith?
Believing things without evidence.
There it is.
Yeah, so do you know what else? Hold on. Do you know what else is the same definition as faith? Foolishness. Believing something without adequate evidence is foolishness. So faith and foolishness are synonyms.
So two roads.
To explain?
Two roads. You're going down one road or the other.
So that's not what a synonym is. A synonym means they both mean the same thing.
Of that. You know what I mean? What is truth? And going towards that and finding that.
Truth is not faith because truth is found in evidence. Faith is believing something with a lack of evidence. So to tell me that faith produces truth is nonsense.
It doesn't?
Yeah, faith does not produce any truth.
Andy, if I may ask,
What you're
Andy,
saying is Jesus.
can you
Go ahead.
Can you have faith in untrue things?
Well, what is truth?
Truth are things that comports with reality.
So why is it untrue?
Because Jesus
No, I'm
resurrected
asking
from
you.
the dead.
Okay, let me give you a demonstration.
Untrue.
I have faith,
Okay.
Andy. I have honest faith that there is a pink unicorn that shits strawberry sherbet in the back seat of my car.
Mhm.
All right? I have faith in this. I believe it's back there. I hear it and I feel it in my
You
heart.
worship it.
Now you can't hear it or see it unless you believe it. I don't worship things because worshiping things is stupid and there's no reason to do it. Anything that
Someone
demands
is
to be
stupid?
worshipped.
I don't think so.
Anything that demands to be worshipped isn't worth worship. Anyway, this
hold on.
unicorn
Hold on.
shit's
Je-
delicious.
Jesus, hold on. There's an important question in the chat, and I need you to address this before you go on, Jesus. What kind of car is this?
It is.
What?
It's small. It's a Nissan Murano. It's a Nissan Murano.
Okay, so it's like right in your face shitting the sherbet.
It's right in my.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to make
turn
sure.
My head.
I just
direct-
needed
it's
some
direct
visual.
We need a picture. We need to be able to picture this
Yes.
clearly.
Hold on, Jesus. So you don't think
Direct access.
rose from the
Hold
dead?
on. I have
What-
faith this
that's-
exists.
That's the whole.
I have faith.
question.
I have faith. I have faith that this unicorn exists. Do you believe that this unicorn exists? Because I have faith in it.
Yes. Yes.
Well, then I'm going to have to say
Okay.
that you are a liar.
Okay, Andy. So you say that it just takes faith in Jesus' death and resurrection. It doesn't.
That's the most important thing.
No, it doesn't matter. But because to get to that, you have to believe. Hold on, Andy. To believe in that, you have to believe the Bible, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe that every saint in Jerusalem, when Jesus rose from the dead, rose with him from the dead and they walked among the street like zombies? These things would be skeletons. Every saint... Hold on, Andy. Andy, hold on. Let me finish. So every saint of the past rose from the grave, skeletons went in and talked to people. You believe that?
Yes.
Okay, so you believe skeletons at one point walked the earth and talked?
I believe that Job was swallowed up by a whale.
I don't care about that. Job was not. That was Jonah. But that's besides the point. Answer my question. Do you believe that at one point, Andy, skeletons walked among us and talked to us?
Yes.
Okay. See, that's why me and you will never be on the same playing field when it comes with things we believe. I do not believe skeletons can talk. They don't have lungs. They don't have a larynx. They don't have any of the faculties they need to talk. They don't have those.
You're
Can I ask a
saying
follow-up question to Andy?
Hold on. There's
Yeah.
no way Jesus resurrected. There's no way.
No.
Andy, can I just
Zero
ask you one
evidence.
follow-up question?
Zero
And I'll- Okay.
Hold on. Psych,
There's
go ahead.
evidence. There was a whole
Andy.
book written about it.
Andy, hold on. Let Psych talk.
Andy, do you believe Muhammad split the moon in two?
No.
Why not? Why not?
The underage women and was
No. That wasn't the question.
Okay. No.
Do you believe that he split the moon in two?
No.
Why? Why?
It was Muhammad. Who is he?
There's a whole book saying it.
There's a whole
Yeah.
book that says it.
And people have faith in it.
That's right.
And you said faith is an adequate way to truth.
No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe faith is an adequate
So
way to
your
truth?
faith.
No.
So you, but you said
Just
earlier,
meant
what?
just your faith is that.
You can't disprove that. Have they tried to disprove the resurrection? I'm sure they have.
It's been
Has
disproven.
it been disproved?
Yep.
I don't think so.
No, it has.
Never
Do you know why it's been
Still going.
Do you want to know why it's been disproved?
Why?
Things can't resurrect from the dead. We know this because of evidence. There is no evidence. Hold on. What's that?
Unless God was there, yeah.
Okay, then you have to prove God existing. So that leads us down a whole another trap. So, do you have any proof of anything, evidence of anything raising from the dead?
No.
Okay, so if there's no evidence for something, it's the same as Santa Claus. I can say Santa Claus isn't real because there's no evidence that Santa Claus is real. The same way with your sky carcass raising from the dead, he absolutely did not.
That is brutal.
It's just what it is.
You're
like,
mad
you believe there's a
against
carcass in the sky.
I know
You think there's a
He's a
carcass
corpse.
in the sky, don't you?
Jesus is a corpse.
you're angry against God. I don't know why.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
God
I'm mad.
exists.
Well, yeah.
I'm always mad against things I don't believe in.
Unforgiveness, and when you have unforgiveness in your heart and bad stuff that happens, yeah, of course.
I said nothing
I get
about
that.
bad things
I
that
get-
happen. This
I
is
get
crazy,
that.
Andy. This is a crazy straw man you're pulling right now
Nothing
because
bad.
nobody said anything about bad things that happened. All I said is your God is a sky carcass.
Nothing
because
bad
you
happened
believe
to me.
absolutely.
Can I say
And-
something? Andy, why would you think that that was a loving thing to say anyway? So if you're telling
It's the
me
truth.
that, Andy, listen to me. You're not listening
When
to
you
my
have
point.
trauma
Andy,
and you
listen
hold on
to
to
my
it
point.
into your
Andy,
heart.
please stop. I have not interrupted at all. Please stop. Is that what you would say to an abused woman too? You left because he hurt
It doesn't
you?
matter because the truth will set you free.
You're
Unless
not listening to my
face it,
question.
and you will
You're
never be set
literally
free.
obfuscating from the question that I just asked you.
Wait, what was the question?
Thank you. Start listening to me when I'm talking. I said, would you say that to a woman who leaves an abusive man that you just left because you were hurt?
Well, yeah, of course, it's the truth. What is truth?
So you would say that to her? You wouldn't
No,
be
it
like,
does not
good
matter.
job?
It's about your heart and where your heart
Wow,
is.
Andy,
You have to
you are
forgive.
so disturbing.
Pain
The fact
and
that
all- it's
that is
not
very
blood,
disturbing.
Again, Andy, hearts are an organ that pumps blood. That's all they do. They do not do anything else.
So I'm fine with saying, like, yeah, sure, I am angry at the God of the Bible, including Jesus, because in my special circumstance, I'm a gay man. So I was not choosing to be gay. I was, this is just part of my nature. And then God goes on and says, like, I made you that way, but also in Leviticus, you should unalive people that are that way. So, yeah, he can F off.
I'm going to make you an abomination. Good luck.
Right. Like, where was my choice in that? That wasn't me leaving away.
We
because I
all
was
have
hurt.
a choice, and you know
So
it.
should I then still follow this person that says?
No, I'm not saying what your attraction is wrong. I'm not saying that's not real. I get it. I've been a drug addict. I understand. I get it.
Do not
I can
compare
tell.
being an addict to being LGBTQIA. Don't ever
No,
do that
I get
again.
it.
And
It's
also,
one-
do not say those words on
Stop
the
being
live.
loud. Stop.
Okay, don't tell. Ooh, Andy, you have the
Doesn't
wrong
like
person.
loud women.
You have the
Don't be a
wrong
loud
person.
woman, Crystal. Don't be loud as a woman.
Crystal.
You can't do that.
How dare you be a loud female? How dare
I'm
you?
not saying what he is saying is wrong. I get it. I have an attraction to a man.
What you're
What
saying
am I
is wrong.
supposed to do? I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to
Bump
judge.
uglies.
I am.
That's what you're supposed to do. Bump uglies.
So, like, my question is does God make mistakes?
No, God doesn't.
So then,
why am I this? I get it.
Why do Christians tell me all the time that my way of life is sinful and wrong, and that it's an abomination? Because it does say that in Leviticus. They're
Especially-
really wrong.
Facts. That's absolute
Especially
facts.
since God put the male G spot in the butthole.
We going there? Are we going there?
I mean,
Hey, you guys, real quick, let me say something.
It's a little bit of
Tonight
a
is
thing.
my
It doesn't make
final
sense.
show.
Yeah.
And so if you want to come up, the guest box is open to everybody tonight. We're going to talk. We're going to have fun. And so if friendlies, anybody wants to come up, this is my final show. You want to come up and say goodbye. Come on up, say goodbye. But yeah, the guest box is open to everybody tonight.
Yeah, and also, Andy's in timeout. So, Rainbow, what do you have to say?
I want to ask Andy a question. If God creates everything like Christian said he did,
Andy, you can come out of timeout to answer questions.
I'm all ears.
did God create everything like you Christians say?
All I'm gonna say is for a fact in
No,
the.
what you're gonna do is answer my question.
Okay, what was the question?
God
I'm
created
sorry.
everything like you Christians say.
What, perfect? No, we're not
I
perfect.
didn't say that. Did he create everything? Yes or no? I'm not the one to play around
my
with.
gosh.
I'm not nice like these other
You
people.
down south?
I don't give a flying fuck
Yeah, you're
what your
down
answer
south.
is to begin
I'm
with.
sorry. All right, I
Yes or no?
guess. Yes.
So answer the fucking question, please.
All right. Dang. Okay.
Yes or no? Did he create everything? Quit fucking pivoting around and bullshit.
He did.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, really? So he created the gay people. He created the lesbians. He created the trans people. Because he created everything. Everything means everything, including the sin that you do.
Where
that
are you
won't
at?
suffer.
You down south, right? You're down
Where
south.
does it
What does
matter?
it
where
matter,
I'm at?
Andy? Andy,
Where
why does it matter?
where
That's
I
weird.
live?
He's not
That is
interested
really
in the
weird.
conversation.
Stop.
He's not
No.
I
interested.
Andy,
don't think is. I think we should move on. Let's stay neutral. Are you a believer?
Oh, hi. No, I'm not a believer, no. But I did have...
Okay.
Oh, Andy left. I did have one question
Yeah.
out of my
Go
own
ahead.
curiosity. I would have loved for Andy to answer this as well, but since he's gone. What is your guys' opinions on agnosticism? And do you believe if you want to follow science purely, that you have to be agnostic? That was basically out of my own curiosity.
For me, I would say you'd have to remain agnostic to truly, because if you're not agnostic, there's going to be an extent of bias regardless. But if you remain agnostic, it's going to be the least amount of possible when looking at science. When you're doing the interpretation of data, you're going to have the least amount of bias when trying to interpret it. So I would say that being agnostic is the most pure choice we can have for understanding science.
I would agree to a point, and the difference between me and Joyful in this scenario is I'm an atheist through and through. I'm not going to make any knowledge claims. When I say that I don't believe the claims of a God. So if you say I believe in God, I'm going to say I don't believe you. But as far as knowledge goes, I know there's a God as much as I know that there's no leprechauns. And that's kind of where I'm at. I don't have any reason to believe convincing reason to believe that there is a God. Just like I don't have any convincing reason to believe that there are leprechauns or Bigfoot or unicorns.
And I think that so far, every time we have looked for an answer in the world to anything, we have been able to find it through natural, something natural. That it always, has come down to something natural. So even if there was something that somebody wants to call a God out there, I think in the end we're going to find out it's something natural, because I don't believe anything supernatural exists. Every time we try to prove the supernatural, we prove the natural.
Yeah, God of the gaps, basically.
Guys, quick commercial. Keep tapping them likes. Share out the live. We are trying to get some people in here. We haven't been live in almost a month. And this is our finale, me and Crystal's finale in our partnership. But you know what? We'll be on each other's lives, and we are still very much joyful in Crystal. That will never change. This is just, we both have things that we want to focus on, and we're going to focus on those things. And so tonight is the finale of what was. And so friendlies come up. If you want to debate, you can come up. This is a live about just like reminiscing and even debating, because that's what me and Crystal did. So thank you all for being here who are here. Bar, thank you for being here. Especially thank you for coming up. What is your age? Just really quick.
Yeah, I'm 27.
Okay, you're 27. Okay, so you're old enough. Okay, I just wanted to make sure really quick.
Just barely, because we did 26 and a half or over on this show.
God damn, Crystal, come on.
just barely. But Bar, I just wanted to say one thing. Today I was listening to my Spotify AI DJ, and he played
Joyful.
He played 3 of your songs, so you know that I'm doing something. All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Talk to him.
Hell yeah.
But I just chime in. I'm not here to debate y'all.
I know you ain't debating.
Let's go. Let's tussle.
You still haven't given me a date for when you're going to be on the new live, so you got to get with me.
I got you.
I'll send you the dates that are available, and we'll figure that out, because you got to come up. Yeah. You got to be on there.
Put your boy out there. No, I just want to give everybody their flowers. Like I was telling Crystal when I was on her live, and I'm gonna say it now. I'm turning this radio down. I'm sorry.
Like at 6.
We need all hands, and with the pushing out the truth and trying to wake everybody up. I just try to give everybody their flowers. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for having me on y'all shows, and just hitting your boy up, spreading the message. It's been a lot of days where I just tune in, and it's just nice to hear and see and listen to like-minded people who, critical and logical, and me and Crystal, we always have a good time whenever we
Yes, we do. And one day we're gonna get together and have tacos.
Yes, Crystal.
Made you hungry, didn't I? I made you hungry for tacos.
Listen, I kid you not. Every time I get tacos, I think about when I was on your live. I'm like, man, it's taking me back.
Too. I really do. I'm like, I wonder if Bar's having a taco right now.
It was one of these days where you was live. It was probably like 2-3 weeks ago, and I was in the comments of like, Crystal, I had tacos today, but I don't think you saw it because you was talking to the people on the panel.
That's awesome.
No, but man, I appreciate y'all.
Well, I appreciate you. You were the first deconstructing artist I ever heard, and like, I love your music ever since. Just not just because, like, I love listening to rap, but I love the message in all of your songs. It's just every single one of them I could play over and over, and they always speak to me.
Tell them Black Atheists know how to rap a little bit. I got a little something on.
He does. I love it. I love it. Yeah, your brother does too.
Poet, yeah, he yeah.
He gets after it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad.
Yeah, he's all right. He's my brother. He's all right. But I'm the one.
Don't tell him.
My brother's okay. He's kind of like just. Yeah, he's okay.
Well, no, we got a little friendly competition, but it's nice to, because where I live at, I live in the Bible Belt, and I don't get to talk to people like y'all. Everybody down here is just they Christian now. I'm in Christendom. So I tell people all the time when I get on these lives, this it. It's the only time I get to, So I be just appreciating just being able to talk to other atheists, other deconstructors. It's nice to not feel alone, So that's why. So when I'm saying I appreciate y'all, I'm saying like, man, just being on here, cause like a lot of people don't know this, but this content, TikTok, going live, making videos, this shit ain't easy. A lot of work go into this. So not everybody do it, and to the people that do it, people that come up, even the people that don't come up, that support, we thank all y'all, everybody. I mean, like I was telling Crystal, we need all hands. Ain't no such thing as it's too many. No, it ain't. We need somebody Ohio.
No.
We need somebody in Kentucky, Missouri, Michigan, Florida, California.
That's right. We really do. And he's right. It's not easy. I was just talking to my husband about tonight. Is it fun? I have a lot of fun. It's a great thing to do, and it's a great community. But there are days where you've got a live schedule and you're not feeling it, but you got to get up. You got to do it anyway because that's you've told everybody you're going to do. You make a commitment. So it's not easy. And it's not easy to learn all these streaming things. Oh my goodness. OBS and TikTok Studio and Streamlabs and it's not easy.
Jason, to tell you the truth, I think all Christianity is false. But me and you would agree on what Christianity is for the most part with Calvinist views. And I deconstructed from that. So are you saying that I deconstructed from a false religion and that's the religion you believe in? Because I think me and you would agree on what the Bible says Christianity is. And that's what I literally deconstructed from.
So Bertrand Russell has a book called Why I Am Not a Christian. And in the beginning of that book is his on pretty much the actual subject of the book. He, in that speech, defines like what a Christian is, because there's so many denominations, it's kind of hard to pin it down. And basically, that's what I would also consider like what is a Christian. And to me, that would be somebody that believes in an immortal like soul or life, eternal life, a person that believes in God, and a person that believes that that Jesus was like this Messiah and died and or unalived and resurrected. Actually, I wouldn't even say the resurrection part, just that Jesus was, like this demigod or God himself, Trinitarian or otherwise.
Hey, Joel reads Bible. You can come up if you are available. But I love you too, and I want to thank you for always supporting the show and always coming out and hanging out with me and Joyful.
Yeah, and I also want to say, guys, me and Crystal are still going to be doing Pride Night for those in the LGBTQ, or not, just allies. Anybody within that community, 1 week a night, me and Crystal will work that out. Or 1 day a month, we will have a live. It's going to be called Pride Day. And we will figure out like how this is going to work, but we will have people up and we'll just talk about Pride. We'll have special guests that I will set up that are like very active in the LGBTQ scene, and we will do those nights, and that will be awesome too. And that's something me and Crystal have already discussed that we will continue to do together, because it's something we're both very passionate about, and it will be I think it will be very good for the community.
Absolutely. Hey, Jesus, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
I'm over 30. How you doing? That's Jesusism.
I'm doing good. Okay, and are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
Well, I'm out of the Bible, but my religion is called Jesusism.
Mm-hmm.
I can explain briefly what that is if you want.
Sure, go right ahead.
Yeah, a few tenets of Jesusism is we believe that we have a new God and Father, Lord God Almighty, Jesus. Different title, same name. And that because there's a new God in him, we believe in a thing called monopolytheism, the worship of one God, but the acknowledgement that there are many gods. And we believe that's what the Bible is talking
That
about.
already existed, though. Isn't it called, tell me what that's called, Benny. Go. It starts with an H.
Henotheism. Henotheism.
Thank you. Henotheism.
Bars got it.
Does that amount to worship of one God, but acknowledgement of many gods?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. Learned something today. But the other tenet is reincarnation is what we believe that the resurrection is talking about. Not his resurrection, but we believe he was Adam. He was all the high patriarchs of the Bible. Adam was the son of God, hence Luke 3:38, all the way up until his final Christ body. And then by the time he comes back in Matthew and says, all power is given unto me in heaven and earth, he receives the kingdom. So he's on
Were those his final words?
Sorry?
Were those his final words?
Well, in Matthew, they were his final word.
Do you believe Paul's words?
Of course.
Okay, so Jesus was both the first Adam and the last Adam. So Jesus is who brought sin into the world?
Well,
I'm confused.
Sorry?
I said I'm just confused because Paul says the first Adam brought sin into the world.
I can answer that. It's just that when I do, a lot of people have a problem with it because they don't want to. First of all, a lot of people don't believe in reincarnation, or that's what the resurrection is talking about. But when he says, when the disciples ask him, and I'm not evading your question, I'm getting to it. When the disciples ask him, well, I thought Elias was supposed to come before everything was to happen and prepare the way. He said he did. Didn't you know that was John the Baptist? You remember that?
Yeah, we all heard that.
Okay, so you all should understand that reincarnation is what he was talking about to his disciples.
Our good friend Deconstruction Zone actually has a really good debunk on the Elias John the Baptist thing. If you ever look it up on YouTube, Deconstruction Zone Justin, he has a really good explanation of how that's just not correct.
Do you have a paraphrase for it?
Hold on.
Yeah, the Adam thing. I'm getting to that.
All prophecies that are told in the Old Testament usually happen and are like fulfilled within the Old Testament. The New Testament doesn't need to fulfill these prophecies. They're already like they have a specific context, and the only way that you could make like Jesus fulfill any of these prophecies is by saying, oh well, it was a typology, which is a term that like biblical scholars use to mean that the prophecy happens twice, that it gets fulfilled once and then it gets fulfilled again by Jesus, which that's just like playing, like that's like cheating, because in Deuteronomy I think 13 is God says what a prophecy is and what a prophet is, and what God says
18.
is that is 18. Well, it's in Deuteronomy 13 or 18, one of them. And if that does not happen specifically the way it's told, then it is not of God. So unless the prophecy itself says, okay, it's going to get fulfilled once and then it's going to be fulfilled again. Thank you, Rev. Yeah, 1820 through 22.
That seems contradictory, but go ahead. Prophecy Prophecy is only supposed to come and be fruition once.
Well, then you have a lot of problems then if you want to have a Jesus framed religion, because Jesus does not fulfill any of those prophecies in their original context.
Well, Jesus and Jesus, we can work out those kinks.
Okay. Well, let's finish with
you need to work out kinks in your religion. Your religion is just made up as you go along. That's just wild, dude.
Wait a minute.
So did Jesus?
Wait a minute. Wait. It's made. Let me just address this. It's made up as I go along.
Yes, you're literally making. You didn't
so
even
let me ask you
know
this.
that what
so you know
said
about
earlier.
Jesus, right?
You didn't even
know.
You didn't even know that what you believed in already had a name for it.
Why is that an error? Because I didn't know there was a term for what I already know. Because you're making stuff up
as you go along to fit what you want this religion to be.
Ignorant if you want, but don't tell me you know what Jesus is about.
Jesusism. Did you come up with this?
What it was about.
Your name is Jesusism.net, which means
that's the religion. My name is not important. That's the religion's name.
No. What I'm saying is, are you one of the founders of this religion?
The founder. Yeah.
Yeah, you are the founder. That's what I figured. Because you don't know the Bible, nor do you know anything about theology. So did Jesus?
So swoop. You tell me. I don't know the Bible.
Yeah, you don't. Did Jesus bring sin into the world? You said he was the first Adam. Paul says. You said you believe Paul. Paul says the first Adam brought sin into the world. So did Jesus bring... Yes, that is what he says. Did Jesus bring sin into the world? Yes or no?
As Adam, yes, he did.
Oh, okay. So Jesus, the sacrifice for sin, also is the one that made everybody sinners. That is even more circular than the other Christian views. That is absolutely crazy.
In 2:16 of Genesis,
dad and his
the beginning of sin.
Jesus'
2:16 of Genesis is the beginning of sin. When the law was made, that's when sin entered.
It doesn't. No, that's not true. According to Paul, Jesus, you said you believe Paul. Paul says the first Adam brought sin into the world. You said Jesus was the first Adam.
That's right.
So is what Paul said true?
Yes.
Okay, then Jesus brought sin into the world, not the law, not anything else. Jesus did.
No, let's not put the cart before the horse.
Nope, that is what the Bible says. Are you denying Paul's writings now?
How many times do you want me to tell you? Yes, Adam brought sin, but Adam was not the one who created sin.
No, he had. So Jesus isn't God.
Look, you gonna filibuster? Or can I?
Is Jesus God? Yes or no?
He's the new God. He's not.
Okay, so Jesus is God, but okay, cool. You're an idiot. Okay. Anyway, Rav, what is your take on all of the gibberish we just heard?
Well, I think that people feel the need to bend over backwards to make apologetics for something that doesn't make sense to begin with. And I think that people are much better off reading the text for what it is and trying to make this world better. That's my hot take. Also, to me, like if his argument is that Jesus was the original Adam, doesn't that mean that Jesus unalived at the beginning of the book of Genesis?
That would mean like he's his great plus times a million.
Yeah, he believes it,
and his own father and himself.
He believes that Jesus is one of the reincarnations of Abraham. He believes all of them, all of the hierarchy of the Old Testament, every one of them were Jesus reincarnate. Yeah.
Somebody should redo the Spartacus scene where everybody just stands up and says, "I'm Jesus."
It's hard for me to hear you, Rabbi. I don't know if you're far from your mic or something, but you're a little muffled or muted.
Yeah, Bert, I was going to say, have you ever heard that Willie Nelson song that's like, "I'm my own grandpa"?
Yeah. I don't think it's actually Willie Nelson, but it's a great song.
Yeah, Willie Nelson's the one who wrote it.
I think Bearshare thought it was Willie Nelson.
Well, yeah, he wrote it. People covered it. Yeah, so
I do want to give him kudos for starting his own religion. I mean, that takes balls, and it takes a level of stupidity that is beyond me. So I want to give him kudos because he did do something that Joseph Smith. Like, he's the new Joseph Smith.
When he said new God, I was thinking of, this is an obscure comic book reference, but the DC universe has a concept called the new gods, which is like, there's like these old gods that died, and then the new gods were resurrected or reincarnated or whatever. That's exactly the same kind of concept he was describing. And it's from a comic book or something. That's like weird.
Was he a Jedi master? I guess is what you're saying, Keenan. Maybe he was. One more commercial, guys. Please keep sharing it out. Keep liking the live. Monday will be the launch of JA Debates on YouTube. That is the name of the channel, is JA Debates. There will be a different co-host every live. In the days I cannot make it, there will be somebody like Crystal or Benny headlining, and then they will have a co-host on the channel you see here. They will have all of my login access and all of that, and we will keep the channel going every Monday and Thursday. We will find a way, even if they are busy. I have a bunch of people that are very ready to do this. I want it to be more like a rotating thing where I'm not always live doing it, and then eventually it's other people that are hosting, and then there's a co-host. But that's kind of where we're headed with my channel. And it will be here too. Yes. It'll be here and YouTube.
And on YouTube. And you guys, I'm going to be doing Decon Q&A with Crystal J. And of course, we have Wednesday Non-Believers Bible Study. And then a couple of times a week, I'm going to be doing pop-up lives where I go live when I have a few hours, and we're going to do conversations with Christians. I'll be happy to have you guys come up as co-hosts when I do those. We're just both growing and want to build each other's platforms and help each other, but we're going to be supporting each other in just a different way now. But we totally are still supporting each other. Joyful is still going to get texts from me where I just mock him and stuff. He can't run from that shit, okay?
I can't. And I will continue to call Crystal, and then she'll call me back after she lets it ring through. That will just be the way of life. I mean, that's how it is. But Crystal, make sure you're tuning into Crystal.
If you
you did answer me for the first time today without it going, and I was like, oh my gosh, she actually answered me, and then she's like, actually I have to call you back, give me a minute. And then it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. But so guys, make sure you're supporting Crystal's channel, supporting my channel, and guys, we're going to do great things in this community. Right now, Benny is streaming this live on the Deconstruction Junction YouTube, and we're going to be doing a lot more things like that. I want to stream more over there sometimes too.
Yeah, we'll simulcast or do like promo shows or something over there just to kind of help direct people, because Mezzo's been bringing a lot of people in.
That's awesome.
God bless Mezzo, even though that's like sacrilege to him.
You guys, Saturday, I'm hoping to get Benny to help stream my live at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Decon Q&A with Crystal J. I I have Dr. Blitz. So if you guys can make sure to tune in. If you're not following me on YouTube, I am Crystal J on YouTube. And if not, like, hopefully you can watch on the Deconstruction Junction on horizontal over there. I'll be doing the vertical, and Benny will do the horizontal.
Right.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Crystal, I just need to know like how long it will be, because I might have to turn it on and put a timer on, because
3 hours, but run it for 4, because sometimes when it's a popular person, I can't get the line to. I know, leave Doug out of this, he says.
Mezzo, you're not supposed to always be listening.
Mezzo is always lurking in the shadows.
He is.
It'll be this Saturday, Jarab. This Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Dr. Blitz, and then also this month I have a controversial. What's his name?
Compass?
Coco. What's Coco? Compass,
Coco.
controversial. Yeah, I got Coco. Also, I have Lobes the Absurdist, and then later in the month, Mezzo and Joel and I are looking at some dates for them to come back. Justin is looking at dates for him to come back, and so I'm going to be bringing you a lot of great deconstruction creators, and you guys get to come up and ask the questions. So make sure you're following me. Yes, Bar, you get to come back soon too, and Joyful. And I'd like to have Benny back solo. Rabbi was one of my first people I ever kind of did this show with before I called it Decon Q&A with Crystal J. So hopefully Rabbi Bert will also join me again. I'm looking forward to having a lot of great creators on my show.
Yeah, Crystal has a lot of good creators coming up. We have several already signed up. If you would like to get on the schedule with me to be a host, get in my DMs. We will talk about it and see if it's a good fit. And if it is, I will send you a group of dates that are still open for August. And we will get something going there. We have Spencer, we have Lobes, we have Tiny Smoz is going to be on there. We have Atheistic Preachers going to be on there. We have Joel Reads Bible, Justin, the Deconstruction Zone, and we have so many more that Dr. Blitz is still working on the date, but he says he will make it for some night in August. So we have a lot of people coming through, and these are going to be great shows, and hopefully I will make them. I want, like, all of the people I have signed up so far, I'm hoping that I make it to and not have to have somebody else host. But sometimes it's going to be another host with these people, but it's going to be a great time.
Finding Truth, can I get your age for TikTok purposes? I know you've been very patient.
My age is 21.
All right, and are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible? Are you a Christian or a believer?
No, I'm not a Christian.
Are you a believer of the God of the Bible?
I'm not sure. I haven't studied the Bible well enough.
Oh, are you a Muslim?
Nope. I am a believer in God.
So what do you consider yourself?
A deist?
I consider myself someone who believes in God.
So
created.
There are many gods. Do you have a name for your God?
No, I think God has many names.
Oh, okay.
Before we start,
Do you worship feet?
I'm not really here.
Can someone please explain what's happening?
Hold on. Seth is very confused. So this is the finale.
Show.
This is the finale of me and Crystal's.
I don't like it.
Seth, let me talk. You can't talk over me.
It's just of this format.
Okay.
It's just this format. Me and Crystal are still going to be very involved in each other's shows, but it's not going to be like Crystal as my co-host every time. It's going to be a varying co-host and even host. Sometimes I will not even be involved in the show that is airing on this page. it's going to be a lot more like an AXP or The Line. I will be in most of them as the main host, but there are going to be times where Benny will be the main host or Crystal. There's a few other people that said that they would be willing to try to work it in. So when I'm busy, they will be doing those things. And it's just going to be a way to get a lot of smaller creators out there, for one. And for two, to like just switch it up and keep it like fresh and something for people to look forward to. Like Crystal's going to be a co-host at times, scheduled. You could be Seth. You could be. All you have to do is set up a date. Be a co-host.
Nobody wants
Seth,
that.
Seth, you know how, like, whenever there's a Muslim on the panel, like, we call Ems and we put out the bat signal for him?
Yeah.
Whenever you need me to cuss somebody out, just put out the bat signal for me. I'll comply with it, okay?
Yeah,
But-
I already knew that.
So, sorry to cut you guys off, right? I just wanted to know what's the evidence you guys have for God not existing, since you guys are making the claim.
Oh yeah, I have plenty of evidence that God doesn't exist. Do you want to know it?
I want to hear it.
I just need to say that I mean I'm excited, but I'm also upset.
I get that.
I don't like change. Also, Ben, how long did you know about this? And
Like weeks. I helped him make the new background. I don't know how you didn't know, honestly.
I'm sorry. This was an oversight, Seth. I feel like I should have talked to you about this. This was an oversight, and I'm sorry,
Not
my
on
friend.
me. This ain't on me.
Well,
It's
maybe a
kind
little
of on
bit.
you. It's kind of on you a little bit.
Listen, Seth, I'll call you later. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I got to finish up, but I love you.
Stay swole.
You, Seth.
Thank you. And wait, Chad knew? What the hell is going on?
Chad?
I didn't know all these people knew. Okay, just so you know, I thought only Joyful and I knew. Joyful has a big mouth and didn't tell me he was telling all these people.
No,
okay, I kept it a secret. I did the right thing.
Now, hold on. The only people I have told was Justin, Benny, and you, except for what we said in our last lives. So everything else was up to speculation. And people that I was trying to get to come onto the show, I guess.
Okay,
to
I told Sway.
hey. Oh,
okay, I did tell Sway, but it was like yesterday.
Look at this.
Or the day before yesterday.
Anyway, finding out truth.
I'm gonna drop, but I love you.
Love you, Seth.
You said.
So
the prayer circle.
This might sound kind of dumb, but I'm just going to tell you this. My evidence for God not existing is because believing something exists comes with probabilities, not possibilities. The same with the tooth fairy. So there's a possibility the tooth fairy is a real thing, but there is no evidence for the tooth fairy. So God not having evidence for him makes it a non-probable thing, just a possible thing. Therefore, God does not exist the same as the tooth fairy doesn't exist.
Can I say, I think that God exists because peaches exist, but I think that God is not omnipotent because they have breaths.
There you go. That was a fair rebut. That was a fair rebut.
So when you guys use the word God, what are you guys meaning by that?
A God
to like define what your God is.
Like, I think I can walk this through with finding and maybe get to an answer.
Yeah.
Finding. Can you define what properties your God has?
Yeah. So the property of the God that I'm talking about is that, first of all, he has no beginning, meaning he is forever, meaning he's outside of time.
Okay.
So if he's outside of time and space, how does he interact with time and space? Like, doesn't something that interacts with time and space necessarily need to be within time and space?
Well, I haven't mentioned him interacting, right? So I will mention a couple of things. This way we have some things to work with, right?
Okay, so
Well,
he's outside of time and space, right?
yeah, and he's the one who created the first instance of what we call existence or universe.
So the existence creates itself. It's self-unfolding.
Say that again?
Well, you said he creates the first instance, so that means necessarily he has to interact, even if it's just a fraction of a second. Time and space thing, even if it's starting the existence of time and space, which we can talk about that at length. But then from there, if God does not interact with that whole time and space thing, then money would call this kind of the clockmaker God.
So, finding, does your God have a mind?
I'm not sure.
So, is he conscious or is it conscious?
I'm not sure. I would say that it's reality, meaning it is beyond conscious, beyond something that fades in consciousness or gains in consciousness.
Does he make choices?
Yes, I do think he makes choices.
So he has some consciousness to make choices, right?
Sure, you could say that. I'm not sure what exactly if that correlates to consciousness, but if you think so, sure.
So he would have some sort of mind, right?
Sure, if you say so.
Okay. Now, I will make an inductive argument why this type of God is probably not real. Just jumping off of Joyful's probability claim, right? So, do we have examples of minds without bodies?
Well, if there were, they wouldn't be able to explain it to us or interact. So no, we don't have examples.
Okay. So there's no
example for it to be an example. It would be something that needs to be like material or
right
some type of thing. Otherwise, it was not an example for us.
Right, but do we have examples of minds absent physical things?
No, like I said, even if it was the case, it wouldn't be an example. Meaning, like it wouldn't be something that we could recognize.
So you can't really recognize it at all. It's just a disembodied mind.
No, so I'm not saying that we can't recognize it. Like in a sense that I do believe that through meditation, right, you could get to stages of realizing these things that are beyond matter or whatever.
So I guess what I'm trying to get at is, so is the answer, do we have examples or can we point to something without a body that has a mind? Is it no or is it yes? Or is it maybe?
Maybe.
Okay. So since we don't have any direct, where did he go?
He wouldn't engage in anything, so I thought that was a pointless conversation.
All right. I was just going to say that since we don't have any examples or any demonstrations of minds without bodies, there's no reason to think that disembodied mind exists.
Yeah, but
I just
but
think
you
he
know,
was very disingenuous. Anyway, I don't. When you have a picture of having your feet washed, and then you tell me that this has nothing to do with Jesus, I have to question what are we doing here?
Right.
Yeah, and I think that he was leaving room. The reason he didn't want to answer you is, like, oftentimes when I'm debating people, they don't want to answer you directly because it backs them into a corner. So if he said God did have a mind and not just said, yeah, if you say so, because later he's just going to be like, well, I didn't say that, you said that. And it just is a big circular clusterfuck.
Yeah, I think he recognized, Psych, your very good ability to cross-examine. I knew that you were asking questions you already knew the answer to, which is like the perfect way to cross-examine.
Thank you, Benny. I try. Oddly enough, this type of inductive case I learned from Dr. Blitz. So
nice.
Nice.
So he was the one that brought up this concept to me. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That's pretty logical and, pretty straightforward. Again,
this is a great time for me to remind everybody, Dr. Blitz will be on my show, 9 a.m. Pacific time, Saturday morning. So make sure you guys all follow me.
I
So, yeah, I mean, it was just a pretty, again, just a pretty straightforward logical argument to make that it's a probabilistic thing. So the likelihood is not there for this type of God concept. That's all.
Yeah, Psych, and I hit you with a follow. Get with me, and like I liked your train of questioning and everything. Get with me, and we'll set up a date if you're willing to come up and join me in one of these lives soon.
I appreciate it, Joyful. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll give you the dates.
I will follow you back. I think I follow you. I'm not sure, but I'll check.
I have to unfollow somebody that, like, because I have OCD. No, I have OCD. I have to keep it the same number.
I'm not going to be ableist.
I'm at 667 right now, Benny. What do you want me to do? You want me to stay at 667?
Unfollow Benny.
Benny drew the short straw. No, it's probably somebody that doesn't. Usually I just unfollow somebody that doesn't follow me back, and I'm just like, serves you right.
Hey guys, I just remembered I gotta go inject myself with medicine.
No, you're in trouble with Seth.
No, that's not home yet. But Thursday afternoons,
he heard the car pull up, and he's like, "Well, guys, it's that time."
I gotta take my my testosterone, which
Okay.
Yeah, All right, I'll talk to you guys. In a bit. I'll be back.
Love you, Benny.
See ya.
Love you guys.
See you, Benny. Guys, and also I just want to say this. So if you're in my lives later on and you're a friendly and you want to come up, there is a 2-minute limit from here on out. There is no, like, somebody that's going to stay up and help argue or whatever. It's just me and the co-host. But if you are friendly and you have some questions, we're going to put a 2-minute timer. And then non-friendlies get a 35-minute timer. So, like, if we're having a big discussion and things are going well, we will put out a quick poll at 35 minutes to see if the people in the chat want us to stop the conversation and move on or keep going. But just so people know, it's nothing against you. In the future, schedule with me if you want to debate alongside me on one of these lives. But other than that, we just aren't keeping any friendlies up starting Monday.
I like that. I was thinking about how Daniel Green does that, 30-minute timer. And then, like, if you do a gift, he'll do the timer earlier. But I was thinking of doing that for friendlies. Like, you guys, if you buy me a gift, I'll kick this friendly up and you can come up now.
Well, if it wasn't just 2 minutes, I would do that. But yeah, I got that from Daniel. And it's going to be a 4-hour live, and I want to, like, try to keep time in between guests to discuss with the co-host the conversations and make sure we get plenty of different conversations in. And then the last half hour, it's a 4.5-hour show because the last half hour is always going to be Q&A. So there will be a full open panel, as many people as TikTok will let me bring up, to come up and do a Q&A for the last half hour with me and the co-host. Every live. Bar, you had something to say?
Yeah. So I learned something from what Syke was saying. I had never heard that type of line of reasoning, and I thought that was kind of nice. I had to take some notes. But I guess my question to the family is like, when we talk about this God thing that they're claiming exists or whatever like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see, like, because when I hear people debate or argue for their God, it's not really like, are they arguing for the God in the book, or are they arguing for like just some
Yeah, I know where you're talking about, and this is a common strategy used by Muslims and Christians. They will start with this disembodied, abstract concept of a God. You know, the first prime mover, the first cause, whatever. Then they want to extrapolate that to their specific God, which you should not allow them to do, because that's not their God. Their God is not this deistic concept that they're introducing. And they're trying to conflate the two, and it gets really, the conversations get lost in the weeds, and
it's a way to confuse you, really. It's a way to make you think, if they can convince you there is a God, then it's their God, and then they just push that into the narrative. And I think that's why I hit him with a follow and told him to, because he went about that a way that I thought was quite intriguing. I liked the way that he navigated that. That was great. But I think that people do that because, for instance, I'll be able to blurt it out better this way. So, for instance, like me and my wife, when she first deconstructed from Christianity, and I was still actually in the middle of planting a church when this happened. I was in the middle of planting a church. Well, she was well deconstructed. She was like 3 years into completely gone. And we would have all these fights about God and immorality, because she would go to people I'm trying to think of some of the people's names she listens to. They're just people that put out stuff that are deconstruction, like Rhett from Rhett and Link. Rhett McLaughlin, he was a big one for her, and she would bring up things he'd say, and so I would have to remove myself from the Bible at points because I had no refutation in the Bible, and I would have to go to this more general idea of God to kind of make it palatable not only to her but to myself. And I think that's a lot of what they're doing, is when they're hit with these hard questions and they're constantly on these lives, they have to water down their idea of God more and more, not only to make it palatable for the person they're talking to, but to make it palatable for themselves.
That makes sense. I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay, when we talking about the historicity of people, every time I'm having a conversation about this Jesus character, they always bring up well, if you saying we don't have evidence of Jesus, then that means we don't have evidence of nobody in all of ancient history. And I'm just help a brother out.
Yeah, this is a dishonest tactic, and
why do they do that? And
it's a dishonest tactic. So what happens is they want to say, oh, it's since you don't think Jesus is real, that means therefore you don't think Alexander the Great is real, you don't think George Washington is real.
Those are the exact ones they use: Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, and George Washington. Those are the three they use every time.
So what I say is, I will grant that he was real, that Jesus was a real person. I will grant that he lived for X amount of years. I will grant that he had some apocalyptic prophecies that he did or whatever. I'll grant all that. I'll grant that he died. Where it ends is, I will not grant that he had the power to heal miraculously, to raise the dead. I will not accept that. Now, we don't think of Julius Caesar or George Washington or these people performing miracles. So the point that is the point of disagreement is the supernatural stuff. They want to point towards historicity just by itself, but that's not an honest thing to do. The claims are supernatural claims that we don't accept, and so none of these historical figures did any kind of supernatural stuff.
Bar, I personally don't give him it. I do not give them it. I tell them, I'm sorry, but I don't see proof that I believe is probably an amalgamation of several people in that era, in that time. Mm-hmm. And, and they're, I'm going to make them prove it.
That's perfectly valid. That's fine. Perfectly valid. I'm just trying to get to a place in the discussion with them to see that this historicity thing is just.
I know why you do it. It's like because Joyful does it too.
Yeah, I do it too. I will grant them Jesus every time, because I don't want to get in the weeds. Yeah. That makes too many weeds that you have to navigate through. Crystal's a little more chaotic than I am. I like to be very structured. That might be my OCD or something, but I need a structured plan of attack with if anybody says something I don't know, I'll just be like, yeah, I don't know about that, and we'll move on, and I'll tell them they can come back later and we can talk about it, because I have to go back and look at it. And there's been times I came back and it was like, you know what, I have no argument against that, so whatever. But usually I can come back and be like, that doesn't make sense. But the thing with Jesus is it's too chaotic. I think that Christ before Jesus gives the best argument for Jesus not being a real person. But even then, you have to get so far into the weeds just to get to that point that all the rest of the conversation is gone. It's all just gone. So usually I'll just give them that and say Jesus was real too. So what now?
I agree with you.
Yeah, if I'm speaking to a Muslim, I'll say, yeah, Muhammad was a real guy. Sure. Did he split the moon in two? Of course not.
No.
I mean,
extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So, anything within, Caesar, there is evidence Caesar existed. Is there evidence that Nero actually rose from the dead and led a army to fight against Rome? Absolutely not. I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that is I don't believe that there's evidence that supernatural things like that resurrection of the dead work.
Can I add on that, actually?
Yeah, go ahead.
I personally think that you can learn a lot of stuff from literature and history. When you read about events that happen in history, a lot of literature will then bend over that event or through that or with it, and will be changed by that event. You can learn a lot about history through literature. So I personally think that Jesus probably existed. He was just so good at convincing people of some things that they just created an entire cult around him. That's probably all his disciples and stuff, just a cult. And then they created Christianity. I think that's actually probably what happened if you follow the way of studying literature combined with history.
Yeah, and I don't see, and that's the problem, is you get in all these weeds. You go to somebody like Jared, who does stylometric data, and he's like, well, none of these writings are even from the 1st century. It's actually all from the 2nd century. And then you have him telling you all of these things that are forgeries, because he is literally a scientist. And I can argue that all day with people, that these things are not real, but why not go to the actual crux of the matter and be like, well, Jesus said to stone kids that curse their parents. Is that a good thing?
Oh boy, the morality argument with these people
Can we touch on that a little bit?
Yeah.
So, when it comes to morality, are they just calling it morality, but it's really just following whatever the Bible says, or because like how do they?
Yeah.
Like
so, it's what it is they don't want to admit it's divine command theory. Are you familiar with that?
Can you? I'm familiar with it, but explain what that is.
It just like, long story short, it's basically whatever God says or does, or whatever His essence is good. So you have to.
It's kind of like might makes right, Bar.
But is but that's not the same thing as morality, though, is it?
No, it's not.
But they call it morality, Psych.
Right, they do, but they're fundamentally misunderstanding what morality is. So, morality, in my opinion, is avoiding punishment and seeking reward. That's like at the most basic level. Like that's level 1, and level 2 would be harm reduction, in my opinion, to reduce harm. So, in their worldview, harm reduction doesn't really come to the table. They would, for example, they would say that when God flooded the earth, that was a harmful event, but in their eyes, that was justified. You know what I mean? Am I making sense?
Yeah, and that's because of the divine command.
Right. Yes. Or divine essence, or whatever you want to say.
So what are they using to what? So when they say something's good or bad, like what are they using if they just believe in divine command theory? Like is that you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm asking you?
Yeah. So they will point to the 10 Commandments. They will point to the laws and so forth, and they'll say
every Christian will tell you something different, by the way.
Yeah, they have very, very high variability in their beliefs and morality. Like one Christian might say like, they'll be honest and say, you know what? I don't think Abraham trying to sacrifice Isaac was a good thing. And another Christian will say, no, that was perfectly fine. That's exactly what you should do. You know what I mean?
And some of them will say, all you have to do is follow the 10 Commandments. And others will say the 2 Commandments are the only ones you have to follow. And then the others will say, no, you're supposed to follow all of the commandments, but we just can't. So their morality is subjective too. And all you have to do to prove it, I watched Joel and Mezzo do this, I love it so much, is ask them if it is immoral to, grape somebody without consent, obviously is what grape is, right? No consent. Mm-hmm. And they will say that is immoral. And then ask them where in the Bible God ever commands consent. Ever. In the whole Bible. How is it not subjective if you're telling me that consent is moral and that's not ever talked about by your God?
Okay, so I'm about to repeat my gist of everything y'all just said. Basically, in their view, it's not wrong if it comes from God because it's divine command theory.
Most of the time, yes.
Okay, and their morality is still subjective because of what, Crystal?
It's
the morality is subjective because they will tell you that consent is moral. I see what you've done. And then you're a bitch. And then they will at the same time show you that there is nowhere where consent is required in the Bible.
This is
that's subjective. And when you told me, what are you doing, Joyful?
This is prime right here. This is prime me and you. That I did it for that nostalgia.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You guys, everybody welcome in Bitter Truth.
Yes. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we
of
can
course
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Hey, so I just want to say that the Bible does not condone rape, and
Yes, it does.
First of all, I didn't say that, but that's what you do, Bit of Truth. You didn't listen to what I was telling Bar. You just thought, oh, she said consent, she said grape, then she's saying the Bible condones grape. Not what I said, but it does condone it.
Can a
but
cat?
Not what I said.
Bitter truth. Can a captured woman consent to sex?
can a captured woman consent to sex?
Yep.
Yeah, she can consent.
Okay, so you think you can kidnap somebody and they consent to you?
Yeah, so they can open up to you, yeah, eventually. Like,
Yeah, you're disgusting. That's why we don't have you up here, you fuck. Yeah, he's disgusting.
Oh,
I brought him up here just to mess with Crystal.
Exactly
He's gross.
why.
I wanted to follow
He
up
owes
so
me a
bad.
money gun. He owes me a money gun. Right
I
now.
do.
Just tell
Next
him.
time you're live, I will get you a money gun, I promise. Next time I see you live, I'll get you a
I wanted
money
to
gun.
follow up on that, but oh man,
It's so gross.
Like
how can they think that?
Very casually.
Ooh, W Chet. Hey, Chet.
Thank you,
how
Chet.
are you? Chet, it's my last show with Joyful. If you want to come up, come on up. Cyber, I saw you pop in too. This is my last show with Joyful. Come on up. We're just hanging out.
I got some more questions.
Do it.
No, I don't get to talk to y'all often, but it's nice. I get to just, throw my ideas around. So, I'm trying to see how I want to. I'm gonna say what my mind is thinking. If it don't come out right, I'm sure y'all are smart enough to reconstruct the question and understand what I'm asking. So with this whole Canaanite pantheon thing, Yahweh, El Baal, like, how do we get past that to where like they just like that's irrelevant and the contents of the Bible is like overrides the these people being polytheistic and all of that. Like how do we get to a point where the Bible is like is like the counter apologetic to that? Is that question make sense? But you see what I'm trying to ask?
Yeah, I think so. I think what you're at. Let me make sure. But you're asking why, like, with the. Like, even in the Old Testament, it talks about, like, El Elyon handing off the Israelites to Yahweh, but then it progresses to this, like, singular God, and why we just dismiss all of the lore of the Canaanites and all of that, and put this monotheistic view ahead of all of that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but something like that. I'll take that. Yeah.
Okay. So, I think that just comes along with Christianity, because Judaism still sees that there's other gods. So I think Christianity had to make it to a place where, like, there's this just, like, all-loving, all-knowing, all-understanding God. And they wanted to just do away with all the other lore in the Old Testament. So Jesus fulfilled so they want to say Jesus fulfilled all of the things of the Old Testament. God says that I am the one true God to Israel. Therefore, there's just this one God, and Paul reinforces that, and it's really only in the New Testament that we get there. So it's like Christianity not only did it, like, do away with, like, Yahweh and the law, it did away with, like, all the other lore and just making it down to where it's this one God. if that makes sense. It was like they had to simplify it to reach the masses.
So is Yahweh the God of the New Testament?
Yes.
Is that a fair?
Yep. That would be Jesus' father.
Okay, and that's what the Christians believe, that Yahweh is Jesus' father.
That is what most Christians believe. There are Christians that disagree with that and think that there's like a totally different God and Yahweh was like something else. I don't know how they fit that into their
Christians who believe all kinds of things. Like anything you can come up with, there's a Christian who believes it.
Like Yahweh was the bad guy. But like most like Protestants and Catholics alike believe Yahweh is Father God from the New Testament. Yes.
So I was told that, I'm sorry, you had something to say, Syke?
Well, it was just there's some background there's some background stuff into why these religions form the way they do, and there's some cool stuff in anthropology that you can learn about.
Enlighten me a little bit.
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert by any means, but this is just some stuff I've read. What you'll see is if you have
Can I ask you a question real quick? Do you have a background? You sound very educated. So I was just wondering, do you have like a degree in something? I do not. I just asking. So it wasn't like you have to be, type of thing.
No. I mean, I just have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and that's it.
Nice. You sound very educated.
No, thank you. I mean, I try to read as much as I can, but I'm not an expert on everything, or I'm not I just read enough to have basic knowledge of some stuff. That's it.
Yeah, you seem to have basic knowledge, and then you have a good way of delivering your understanding, I think is what is so captivating. As you present yourself very well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You really do.
Thank you. I'm sorry. What was I saying? Okay.
Anthropology?
Yes. So there's some background information in anthropology about why religions form the way they do. The very basics is if you have a small hunter-gatherer group, their religions typically involve gods that don't necessarily care what you're doing, right? Because it's a small group, and they don't need to, like the people in this group don't need to monitor each other as vigilantly because there are fewer strangers, right? Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. When groups of people get higher and higher densities, like large populations, that's when leaders or whoever the group is leader, whatever, they have a harder time keeping track of everybody. So there's more strangers, there's uncertainty. So the religions that they invent are gods that care about what people are doing. And there's a great video on this. I don't know if I can link it anywhere, but it's there's a biologist, or I forgot if he's a biologist or a neuroscientist. His name is Robert Sapolsky. He's basically explaining all this. It's just a short video, maybe like 2 minutes long. And
Bar is in our Discord too, Syke, and he has a channel. So if you want, you could later maybe put the link in his channel, and he'd be able to see it.
Oh, whose channel?
Bar Black Atheist Rants below me.
Okay.
He's in the Discord with us, and he has his own channel in there.
Sure, I'll link it there if I when I have a chance.
So. That makes it. That makes sense. So we're in agreement, because all of that is what I have deduced from my research on it. So we're in agreement.
Yeah. It's basically control. Like you have a
Control.
God. Yeah, you have a God that oversees everybody as a form of control on the population, so people don't start misbehaving.
Because there's too many people at that point. It's like the crowd has gotten larger.
Yes, exactly.
And it's kind of like, did you realize, like, when things started coming down poorly for the church and, like, the white supremacy within the church, there was this big movement of black Hebrew Israelites? It's the same thing. They had to reintroduce it in a way that was going to be palatable to this group of people to keep them involved.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I don't know, maybe that's how Mormonism started too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So
there's a group of people that branch off from a larger group, and they have their own ideas, and their population grows, and they get more dense, and they have to think of ways to maintain control. That's like the I guess the long story short of it. I'm simplifying it a lot.
Yeah, I want to include like cap off on that. So basically, you can, in the Bible, you can watch God go from this corporeal, like actual having a body, walking in the Garden of Eden, God, which is very similar to how they viewed gods of the Canaanite religion, which was more of like, you know, like Zeus or something like that. You know, you can almost picture them walking around with you. But then as you keep like going through the Bible, he becomes more and more like cosmological or celestial, where he's not even this physical being anymore, to where before the New Testament, he's not a physical being because Jesus is like the physical form of this celestial being. So there's this evolution that goes on. And I would say, yeah, it goes in with that control aspect, because the less that God seems relatable, the more he seems like all powerful, and that's where you get the omni properties, and the more you feel like paranoid that God's watching you. You don't want to upset him. So that's what they do, is they speak for him, and then they say, yeah, like, do this, don't do that, otherwise God will do this to you, and pretty much it's just a method of control. But as for the Christians, they revamped it to make it more Roman. I mean, in the end, that's pretty much the way I always took it. And yeah, same with
Holly feel better. I'm just gonna make Holly feel better real quick here. I see I got dropped down and everything, and Holly feels bad and she thinks it's her fault. But I'm going to blame it on Joyful and pretend like he did it, like he's already getting rid of me and get me off the show. He's like,
it was Holly.
The side guy's really smart. Let's bring him up as co-host.
Crystal, don't even, because what happened was I was sitting here in the room, Holly came in, winked at me, and then you were gone. I don't know.
But yeah, that's again, like Psych was saying, not an expert, but that's pretty much the gist I've always taken. I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes 100% sense.
At the very least, it's more probable than chance that that's the way it's structured and how it's formed.
Yeah, like an Occam's razor kind of thing, like the most simple answer. Yeah.
So, are there people in the Old Testament that we do have evidence for? Like we know that this king or whoever existed?
There's archaeological evidence for I believe David. There's like a stone, like a foundation stone that mentions David. There is a stele or something, another thing that mentions a Yahweh. I mean, there's actually figures of Yahweh as the Canaanite god. He's got a really big like phallus, and he's got a girlfriend.
something with Yahweh and Asherah together, right?
Yeah,
Too.
They used to.
I posted his boner one time on my TikTok.
But yeah, they used to have like figurines. But like people that definitely existed were like Xerxes. He was real. Cyrus was real. Nebuchadnezzar, they don't know for sure. I'm trying to think. They mentioned Ramses the second.
Herod was real.
Yeah, Herod. We can like back
Pontius
up.
Pilate was real.
Pilate, yeah. But
There
Moses,
are some real people.
like Moses, we
Oh,
can't.
John the Baptist was real. Yeah, Moses not real. Abraham not real. Yeah, all of them not real. Lot not real.
So I try to, because when I'm live, I'm trying to tell people that this is not a history book. You see what I'm saying? And it's like I'm trying to get them to the point. Well,
yeah, no, right. I'm saying you're right. It's not a history book.
But there are some historical people and events in the book.
So
Almost all fiction.
Yeah.
Almost all fiction does. Like my aunt is a writer, and my husband asked me one time. She was getting kind of upset because she was having a problem with congruity, and my husband couldn't understand why congruity was important in a fiction. And I said, well, like if you say, in New York City, there's this building that is really tall, and it's not there. Everybody who lives in New York City is just going to be like, this is a stupid book. That building doesn't exist. Like why'd they put that? There's real books. Real building, and it really bothers people. And I was telling my husband about that. He could not understand. So, people when they write fiction, they write real places and real things that really exist. But that doesn't make it, not fiction. It's still fiction.
Yeah. My favorite example is I love comic books personally. So my favorite example is you have a setting of New York City, Empire State Building, George Washington Bridge, Hudson River. But then you look up in the sky and you see this dude swinging up there. And you're like, who the hell is this guy? Oh, it's Spider-Man. Oh, I guess Spider-Man is real, right? It's that kind of thing where writers have to use real world settings to tell their stories.
Yeah, and and this might be a little like kind of throwing it off, but the Jewish tradition of like a midrash is what it's called, is them kind of speculating on what actually happened. And that's really, or like it's them kind of playing like fan fiction, and during the like Jewish exile in Babylon, like it was like 500 BCE, they lost their whole history pretty much. So they had to go and like regather this history and record it from people that just knew it orally. And then that's kind of where you get the Old Testament and like the Masoretic text. I mean, of course, there's parts that are written before a little bit, and there's parts that are written after too. But for the most part, it was them clamoring to like save their culture. And that's why they call it like an ethno religion for like the Jewish people, because it really is like, it's a history for them as they know it.
Yeah, but like if you talk to like Rebel Rabbi and Rabbi Burr and stuff, and it's different, like they're not a monolith, but there are many Jews who go, I know these people weren't real. These are what my actual ancestors wrote about, though, in order to prepare themselves for war, or to encourage the other tribal members, or to exact revenge because it made them feel better or whatever. But even though they still believe in a God, they don't believe all these stories. These were stories just written to be handed down to them in a tribal sense.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of it's like fun too. Like there's like stories that are kind of fun where, like, for instance, they could be pointing at like a zebra or a striped horse of some sort, and be like, oh yeah, this is the story of Jacob and how Jacob You know, he actually had two horses. You know,
hold on one second. Mark Hoyle, if you come up, I promise you, me and Crystal will be the only one to talk to you.
Yeah,
I promise.
I'm about to drop because Seth is probably going to be coming up.
I promise. Come up. I want to challenge you on what you claimed in the chat. And I think Christians should be willing to be challenged. I mean, the Bible says that. You should look forward to trials and tribulations because that builds your faith. But if you're not, like, if you don't really have faith in Jesus and you don't think it will build your faith, stay down there. Don't come up.
But yeah, just to like end my part, I guess, is just to like, you know, like a little kid asks like, Daddy, where does this come from? You know, and like that's just them kind of making shit up. And that was just like a tradition for them. So they kept all of that. And, you know, that's what it turned into was, and I would say like the Canaanite stuff was even earlier, but same kind of thought process. They just kind of, you know, were about 1,000 years after that.
I have one more question. Well, I got another question. I don't know if this is my last
You
question.
keep asking as many as you want. This is nice.
So, today I found out, well, someone brought to my attention that in Job, there are dinosaurs. That's what I was told today. Now, I had never read the verse that he quoted to me, but he was saying how this verse was talking about fucking dinosaurs. There was a verse in Job about a beast with a behemoth.
Behemoth and Leviathan.
I was on a Christian panel. They was like, "This is the dinosaur."
Did any dinosaurs breathe fire from their mouth?
This was
because that's how one of them is described.
They couldn't swim, dude. They couldn't swim. The dinosaurs, they couldn't swim. So that's what happened.
A real movie.
Yes, and Seth and I.
Is it really about the dinosaurs being wiped out by the flood?
Crystal, they were saying that dinosaurs didn't. they said that dinosaurs didn't eat. It's made by Liberty University, by the way.
No! Oh my God!
They said
You
that
just
dinosaurs
cracked me up.
they used to eat fruit, and the reason why their teeth became sharp was because they were cursed. And that like fossils, pretty much like plate tectonics, like the whole continental shift, just happened at a much faster rate because of the world flood or something, and all the dinosaurs couldn't make it onto the boat. Yeah, it's bad. But they do mention a behemoth in Job, and I think more than likely they're talking about like hippopotami because it's like a swimming monster. If you look at the description,
but it says it breathes fire.
I mean, that could just be
like that isn't a hippopotamus. That's a dragon.
They like spray out mist, though. It looks like smoke that kind of comes out of their mouths. So I'm just saying, like there's maybe some exaggeration going on, but
like we used to try to make this make sense by talking about there's a type of alligator that they believe used to be able to make like sparks in their mouths, and we thought that maybe that was what they were talking about in Job. Like we used to make a lot of speculations, but until you can show me that there was a dinosaur that had fire coming from its mouth, Job did not talk about dinosaurs.
But it's more than likely just taken from, like, I think Leviathan itself is more of a reference to Tiamat, which is from an older religion, like Zoroastrianism. It's a Mesopotamian god.
That and Leviathan is also described as Satan in Revelations.
Yeah, they're just throwing around everything. I don't know. They're just making shit up.
So, I'm glad y'all cleared that up because I mean, I had told them, I was like, I had never read that verse, but I still don't think it's talking about dinosaurs because I'm like, I thought dinosaurs lived millions of years ago.
They did. Yeah, the dinosaurs and humans were not alive at the same time.
But that's what I asked them. I'm like, so y'all saying that we was people was just walking around with dinosaurs everywhere and shit. Like, what are y'all saying?
I mean, they're trying to like fit it all within 6,000 years if they're like young Earth creationists. So, I mean, that's probably why.
I have friends that believe that dinosaurs are exaggerated. Like, they use bones from other things to create these huge, massive things when they're really probably just like the size of an ostrich, like a T-Rex. Like, I've literally had these discussions with people when I was a Christian, and, you know, when I was a Christian, I brushed dinosaurs off as, I have no explanation. I'm just going to trust God that it just was somewhere in there and just not important to talk about. Kind of thing. And like every time they would say like these new documentaries came out about finding dinosaurs or whatever in the Himalayas or the Amazon rainforest, like I would like hope that those things were true. Like, yeah, see, dinosaurs do still exist. So it makes sense. But in all actuality, it just doesn't make it doesn't work.
The thing you have to remember is like with like the Genesis account, none of that is historical. None of it is based in any kind of fact. The Genesis accounts don't match a flip flop I think in chapter 1 and chapter 2. I want to say.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yep. So the order of events kind of flip flop.
But what is the Christian apologetic response to what you just said?
So
I'm sure they done thought of something.
Yeah, the apologetic is that the second story is just a summary of the first. Yeah. And the problem with that is it doesn't work because the stories are literally flip-flopped and the facts don't match.
Yeah, they say that, and then when you hit them with that, they say, well, the second thing isn't worried about order at all.
Yeah.
Like the second rendition was just not concerned with that. It was just trying to give you a different outlook on creation that was a little more like intricate, but order and stuff wasn't important to them. And that would be the apologetic.
Yeah, I've heard too from Christian, like they will somewhat go with the documentary theory. I don't know. That might be something you want to like look up, like write down, and just read up on, because they are able to pretty much like split out the like first books, actually like all the books, into like where they kind of came from, like whether they were Elohist, Yahwist, or priestly. And there's, I think, one other like source format, but the theory holds very well because it explains why they're talking about one God in chapter 1, and they, if you notice, like if you read the original Hebrew, they'll like refer to that God as like Yahweh, whereas like Elion will come in on the second chapter, and they're actually speaking of a completely different God, but it is the same God, you know, like after the fact, I guess. But his name is Elion, or El, and like that's where you get those names, like the Elohist and the Yahwist. These are like the people that came from, you know, that area of the Levant region.
Is priestly and Deuteronomist or something, like, is that right? I don't remember what the D is.
Yeah, and like the priestly source is from, I think, when like the priests like went back and put it all together, pretty much.
Yeah, and all of this stuff is in the New Oxford Annotated Bible. Like it's in the like the footnotes if you want to look at it.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Where do the G-sisms come from? Some guy's mind that was on my live earlier. That's where that comes from. I don't know any other origin of it, but the origin that I know of was on my live earlier, and it was interesting.
So that was good. I like that. I'm taking notes.
Joyful, you and I have two different definitions of interesting. I'm just saying.
True.
Documentary Hypothesis, though, I think it's a good read. And yeah, like the New Oxford Annotated, I think right in the beginning it even kind of goes over it. There's like textbooks you can find too, like from old, like there's one on like the New Testament by Bart Ehrman, and you can get it for like $10, and it's like really good. It's just like introduction to the New Testament, and then there's also one for the Old Testament. I don't know if it's Coogan, but like honestly, just look for old textbooks from like seminary schools that people are getting rid of. I think those are the best ways to like read that stuff.
You're in the Discord. If you go to our resources tab, in that there's a Google Drive of a guy named Biblical Scholarship, and that has so much stuff in it.
I'm sure. Yeah, we have like a lot of these books for free too. Yeah, in PDF in the Discord.
So, I'm glad y'all said that. Thank you. So this is not a trick question. I'm genuinely trying to. So, where? Well, I have an idea, but where, or what? How did all of this come? Like where? Like, because I'm trying to ask y'all the question. They be asking me, and I be like, I don't fucking know, because who knows? But like where? Okay, I'm about to ask it. I'm gonna ask the question wrong, but you understand what I'm asking.
Yeah, shoot it.
Where did everything come from?
I love you, Crystal. Thank you.
Okay.
I know that's not the right question, but that's what I'm trying. That's what they're asking me.
Right, of course they do. They do love to ask that question.
Yeah, but I don't fucking know.
If you get a chance, well, you know, we don't always have to have the answer, and they make it seem like we're supposed to be cosmologists. Every field of science there is. We're also supposed to be historians. And we better know Hebrew and Greek fluently, but they don't even know their own Bible. So I'm just saying, it's okay to not know. But one thing I like about, there's two different people who I like talk about this. One is Thinker, where she'll say, I don't know and I don't care, because neither one of us can prove where we think everything came from. So what good does it do me to know where everything came from? It still doesn't prove anything. Just if you proved a creator, you can't prove it Yahweh, and you can't prove that Yahweh connects you to Jesus. Okay, so that's one way. I like that, you know. It's short and to the point. I don't care where it all came from, you know. What does it matter? It changes nothing for me. Yeah. And then Mezzo and Joel will go like, you know, where did everything come from? And then they go into the God of the gaps, and they call it the God of the gapes, in case you haven't watched. And you always try to fill everything. You try to fill all those gapes with things, you know. So, but in reality, every time we've had some kind of gap in our knowledge, it has always led to a natural event. It has never led to supernatural. So just because we don't know where everything comes from, it does not mean it's God. It means we haven't figured it out yet. But every time we have figured it out, it's been from the natural.
Yeah, just, you know, don't be afraid to say you don't know, and it's not a
That's
gotcha.
what I tell them. I don't
it's
fucking
not a
know.
gotcha. It's not a gotcha from them. You just don't know,
But-
and, you know.
But why
They'll
is
even
it?
tell them, they'll say, hey, okay, so where did God make everything from? And they're like, what are you talking about? He just made it. Okay, but what did he use? See, you don't know where he got everything from either. Hey, Bad Bible Debates, I wasn't talking about you at all.
Wait, Joel got in trouble. Is this Joel?
Guess which one it is. It could be Joel and it could be Mezzo.
Damn.
Can I get your age?
Oh shit. Fuck.
Day 42. I think Mezzo's 42.
Yeah, but then if I come out as not mezzo, you guys are gonna think I'm 42. And I don't want that.
Hi, Joel.
Shit. That was a good question. You got me, Joyful. I did hear God of the Gapes, but one thing I wanted to talk about, because this has been weighing on my heart, and I just really wanted to bring it up for a while. I saw on Instagram that this guy named Stefan, who had been sleeping with Cardi B, I believe, said that her BBL smelled like a trash bag that's been left out in the sun. And I was like, are we doing this? Like somebody like is kind enough to want to be with you and be intimate with you, and you're going to say something so horrible about her BBL?
Straight up. And I've also heard that she has a WAP. So I don't know what he's upset about.
Compliment. That's just, if nothing else, that's a compliment.
Joel, did somebody complain about your BBL?
No one's.
They complain about his BBD.
Okay? Yeah, they would though. I have never gotten a complaint about my BBD, but always just like what is it? Something reviews, glowing reviews. That's it. No, I just thought that was a horrible thing for somebody to say.
It is.
So, how's everyone doing?
Good.
We're doing good. It's my last show with Joyful. I'm glad you came up.
Crystal, are you going to
really
be like
excited.
once in a while being the co-host though?
Nope. She's a loser.
Every once in a while.
Okay, well, I'm
Every
getting
once in a
mixed
while.
messages.
He's going to be lucky now if he asks me if I'll show up. But
Now, not only will she be on nights I can't do it, there is a group of people that will be doing the main host, and Crystal will sometimes be that, Benny, and
Well,
then
hold
there
on.
will be a
So,
co-host.
are they going to be like logging on to Joyful Apostate? Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Can I get that password just for fun?
I'll tell you it right now.
Joel, you have it. Remember, it's the same password as his bike lock. It's the same
Oh,
one.
okay. All right, 66669. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. Same
It's all numbers.
Joel, I had to follow Psych tonight, so now I have to unfollow somebody. Because I'm at 667 follows.
Whoa, that's a lot of follows that you do. Well, you can unfollow Bad Bible Debates. I don't care.
I can always get rid of you guys.
Joel, how'd you get in trouble? And how long are you in trouble?
I don't know. And
Holly said unfollow her. Unfollow
I'm in
your
trouble?
wife.
She would like that. She wouldn't have to see my content.
I'm in trouble. Sorry, no, that's okay. I'm in trouble till the 7th, and I got in trouble for something I said on the 25th, but they just told me like yesterday. Apparently, I wasn't paying attention, but so or I guess today because it's down to the 7th. Anyway, long story short, I don't know what I said because the clip. You know how you can see clips usually now?
It's not. Yeah, it's not the same thing that they're quoting.
It's not loading.
Oh.
So like it'll load 99%.
I am his pastor. It literally just had my introduction when it banned me. It just was like, "Hey guys, thanks for tuning in." That was like all that it showed.
Yeah,
I was like,
have a feeling.
Holy
that,
fuck!
Yeah, I don't know what it would be. I mean, it's probably me talking about, something rude. But I don't know. And I appealed, obviously it didn't work. And then I messaged them and I was like, my time off, like my suspension should already be over because it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, good point.
Get me when you can get me. If you didn't get me on time, that's not my fault. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that should be like a whatchamacallit sentence or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it's like the time thing.
Time served or something.
Yeah, time served, or they say that thing where it's like when the amount of time passes, you can't get in trouble for a crime.
Statute of limitations, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
But-
what the F?
But no, I'm in trouble. But that's fine. I've got like other accounts to use.
It's been a while.
You're
and,
being
like,
persecuted.
Yeah, I'm a persecuted atheist.
You're being prosecuted by all the finest.
I bet you it was some sort of Christian too. They
Those dirty Christians.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, Joe. They're disgusting. They're disgusting, and we can't have it. It's churlish.
They believe that
We better be
sometimes
careful. They might
unalive
think
babies
we're-
is okay.
They might think we're really doing this.
We have to have a little bit of everything in the finale, right?
It's true. Hey, pretty cat, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
34.
All right. And did you come up to talk about why God does not exist?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say why he doesn't exist because he just doesn't exist. So.
Okay, you're friendly. So.
I agree.
I keep getting Christians trying to tell me to prove that God doesn't exist, and it's just like, how do you prove a fantasy doesn't exist? That's kind of difficult.
You can't prove a negative. Yeah, you can't prove something doesn't happen because the opposite is infinite. You can't prove fourth dimensional unicorns or whatever they always say, creating the universe. So, yeah.
I think the best argument for God not existing is that it's going to be based on probabilities. So there's probabilities and then there's possibilities. We don't base like the things that we believe on possibilities. We base them on probabilities. So anything we can think about that is a possibility but not a probability, we're going to say isn't true. Like the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy. Like, is it possible those would exist in some facet? Yeah, I mean, I have no way of proving they don't.
Like as like a cryptid or something?
Yeah, but
like
the
a Bigfoot, but it's a tooth fairy, like in the forest.
But the probability is nil. Like, there's no real probability to it. So that would be my same argument for why God doesn't exist.
And I also like the way, Joyful, you will say, okay, fine, I can't prove God doesn't exist, but I can prove your God doesn't exist. And
That's
then
true,
you start
too.
talking about their God.
Yeah.
Yeah, reel it back in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, specific gods are unprovable. You can unprove fuck.
Unfalsified.
I'm tired today. You can disprove certain gods. Yeah, like
this person's a level 11 gifter, so we're gonna bring them up.
Nice.
Hey, North Star, can I get your age for TikTok purposes? North Star.
North Star.
When was is the Sirius is the North Star?
Hey, Jay Steele, how are you tonight?
Anyways,
I feel like that would be my porn name, Jay Steele.
Okay.
I did one of those like figure out your corn names, and it was like the street you grew up on or something. And your middle name.
It was Benny Boy.
No, mine is Peter Parkside.
Oh yeah.
That's just an awful corn name.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be a pun in there, or Peter, I guess, is the pun.
Right.
Your little Peter
on the Parkside.
What was the criteria?
Your middle name and the street you were like born or raised on.
Raised on? I would be Scott Bonebank.
Oh well, that's
Now,
a
that's
perfect
fucking
fucking
cool.
name.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
cool. I had freaking Peter creepy ass Parkside.
Okay, wait, say it again. What do you do? I'm sorry. I'm a little elevated.
It's your middle name and the street you were, like born on or like grew up on.
Oh, I would be Joy Pauline. That's just such a stupid name.
Joy
Pauline. Sounds like an innocent one.
I don't have a middle name, so I guess it'll just be my first name.
Or just the street you grew up on.
Livingston.
Oh yeah, there you go. Stones.
Oh, okay. Fancy D.
What's yours, pretty cat?
Lynetta Olivewood.
Olive wood? Oh, I love
Olive
wood.
wind.
Come on.
That's a good one. I love it. Hey, you guys, if you're just joining us right now, tonight's my last live. Joyful is going to start having rotating co-hosts, and I am going to be going live more often, doing conversations with Crystal's, Decon Q&A with Crystal J, and Non-Believers Bible Study. So we're both like growing and doing our things. We're still supporting each other. I'm still going to annoy him and then not pick up the phone when he calls.
Amen.
The first time, and then I'll call him back. We're still going to do those things, but we're just going to support each other in other ways now. So if you want to come up, you guys can come up. We're just hanging out. We're having fun. If you're a Christian, you want to talk about how God does not exist, come on up. Let's talk about it.
If you're a Christian and you're a friendly Christian, you can come up and just hang out too. I've seen a couple come through that are like those Christians that are our friends. So if you would like to come up as well, that is fine too.
And if anybody wants to know what really happened between Crystal and Joyful, I got the tea, okay?
Wait, Doug told me that I should pretend like I was crying and then get in a fight because we thought Radio Spence was gonna be on, and then get in a fight with Radio Spence, and I was like, babe, I can't do that. Like, it would cause so much drama, even if I said I was just kidding in the end or whatever. So
I was just gonna start making up lore. Like, it involves a pregnancy scare. You know, there's a lot that happened.
And it was joyful. It was joyful.
What's up, Goof?
Nothing exciting. I was just listening to what y'all were laughing about. Y'all sounded hysterical.
Or we were doing porn names. I found another fun porn name game. And it is, you give... No, this is a funny one. Everybody should do this. You give your credit card number, the expiry date, and then the 3 digits on the back. You go first, pretty cat. What is it? Is it a MasterCard or Visa?
One.
Mine's a Snap card, darn it.
Joel, why are you giving away my tricks? I don't have everybody's street and middle name written down anywhere. I'm not slowly putting your information together or anything.
Ooh, I do have a Sunbucks card.
Sunbucks? What are these American cards?
It's a California EBT card that the schools give you automatically when your kids are on summer school.
And SNAP is what our benefits are called out here for, like, what they call welfare.
W California for that, honestly, and I hope the states, at least of California.
Is that coming out of my federal tax?
No, it's probably state ran.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I don't want to be paying for any kids' food.
Should I be explaining to you about how much money California brings to the country, sweetie?
Through what? Avocados, Crystal. What are they exporting?
Don't ask me shit about avocados.
I love avocados.
Hey y'all, I'm about to drop down.
No.
Yes.
No.
I really do appreciate y'all answering my questions and letting me bounce my ideas off. I'm about to check out the Discord and I'm gonna see your message, Joyful.
Yeah, I'll send you dates that are available, and definitely get with me and we'll set one up.
Thank y'all. Benny, Psych, I follow both of y'all. Everybody else, thank y'all for coming out, hanging out with me.
Cool, man. I'll follow you back.
Love you, man.
Before I go, my porn name would have been Deshaun Huge Knot.
Oh, nice. Huge Knot.
Alright, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. That's embarrassing for me. I'm out. He's gone.
That was perfect.
Y'all have any debates with any interesting indoctrinated people lately?
I watched Justin debate the like Catholic Answers AI program that I think people can just like debate on like or with, and he's like this. They get like have a 3D rendered old man that's like sitting with a suit, and like in the background is like Jerusalem or something.
1990s graphics.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's like
1990s graphics.
Painfully slow.
Oh.
And he has that classic, just like Christian man voice. It's just like, you know how they just talk like that?
They picked it on purpose.
Yeah, he sounded like all the people that were on that documentary I was just talking about, The Ark in the Darkness, which is by Liberty U, which is just a bunch of old white dudes being like, evolution's silly. And that's it.
Goofy, I will say this. Even despite all of my theology and Christianity, I am more and more convinced that Jesus did preach that you had to be baptized to be saved. I am more and more convinced.
Well, I mean, he also claimed multiple times to follow his example, and he was. And he said he wouldn't save people who didn't follow his example. But then you get into the semantics of studying Greek, which a lot of, superficial, indoctrinated people don't do. They trust the pastor, and, well, he went to seminary school, and he's learned it, and they don't check this stuff for themselves. But that's really cool.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
You could say silent woman. I used to get that all the time.
No. You have been arguing in my comments with people, and it is cracking me up. Oh my God, I love it so much.
I get that one Catholic dude.
Yes. She's like just going, like just schooling this guy in my comments of a video I did.
If you guys ever get an indoctrinated person that's harassing you or they're forcing religion on you and they clearly don't know what they're talking about, tag me in. I love debating stupid indoctrinated people. It's so much fun for me. And I'm a Christian, but if they're smart, it'll help them. And if they're not smart, they're just going to, what's that word? Cognitive dissonance.
What's the difference between an indoctrinated Christian and a regular Christian?
So the Bible literally teaches in multiple places to check everything, to test everything, to not follow man and to not just be blind like flowy in the wind and believe whatever you're told. Indoctrinated people, they go to a church, so they don't even know why. Maybe they did it because their mom did it. They believe whatever they're told. They don't check, and they swallow all types of garbage, like people who believe that Jesus is going to suck everyone into the sky and stuff like that, and they push that on people and they scare people.
Yeah, but like, I guess there could be the ones that are indoctrinated, and then they also later looked into things a little bit more themselves.
Yeah, I used to be indoctrinated. I went to a mega church, and they told me I could cast out demons and heal people, and I believed them because it felt good, until I actually tried to do it, and they're like, oh, why can't you cast out the demons? And I was like, maybe because it's not real. Maybe because this, what you think this isn't real,
Yeah. So what is how do we know what's, I guess, like, it still is weird to know which one is right. Because what if your heart wasn't right, so you couldn't do the demon thing, but these other people were doing the demon thing?
Well, the Bible says clearly in prophecy that Jesus would be the fulfillment of casting out all those things. And Jesus, based on what the Bible says, did that already. So if people believed what the Bible said, they would believe that happened in the first century and not believe that somehow magically it applies to them today.
There's a part in the Bible where like Jesus kind of says like, or maybe Paul says like, there will be no more exorcisms after Jesus does the pigs and whatnot.
The casting out of unclean spirits, yeah.
Where's that?
If you look at Zechariah 13, it says all unclean spirits would be removed from the land, and so would the prophets. Jesus fulfilled that in Hebrews 1:2 by coming in the last days to be the fulfillment of the word, delivering the word. And then he casted out demons in all the Gospels. And then the apostles did through the Holy Spirit, which, if anyone is a Trinitarian, would believe is a part of Jesus. And that part was fulfilled through the Holy Spirit as well in the 1st century.
So Zechariah says like a prophecy, and Zechariah is OT, right? I'm
Yeah, it's
spacing out. I don't know Zechariah that well.
That's Tanakh and Torah and Judaism.
Right. So he's saying like they're the Messiah, and he's doing a prophecy about the Messiah specifically, and he's saying that Messiah is going to cast out all the evil spirits from the land.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jesus comes and does some demon, exorcisms. We know that. And then what does it say in Hebrews?
Hebrews is the fulfillment of the part of Zechariah that talks about the prophets that would no longer be in the land, which is a part of the Zechariah 13:1-5.
Does it actually do a specific callback to that, or?
It's just fulfillment to that verse, because Jesus is, based on the claim, supposed to be fulfillment of Old Testament prophecy.
Right.
Which I'm sure not everyone will agree with, but...
Well, that's the thing that, I wonder. So is Satan not the prince of the powers and powers anymore?
I don't believe so. I'm a 70 ADer. Most people don't like me. I believe all scripture was already fulfilled, and we're all living in the consequences of our own decisions. There's no Satan today. He was already defeated.
This is some sort of, is that called preterism or something?
Yep, sure is.
Okay. I don't know that much.
It's not very
about
common.
that.
It's very hated.
It's very what?
It's very hated.
I think it's the most honest take you could have.
Yeah, I think that about Calvinism, and I think it's the worst doctrine on the face of the planet. I think the truest form of Christianity is the worst.
I agree. I really do.
Very awful. Calvinism is unjust and immoral, and there's so many contradictions to it when you look at it in the context of everything else in God's character. I mean, if you are a Calvinist and you say, well, I'm not going to be a tulip 5-point, but I do believe in once saved, always saved, you're not a Calvinist. You're just picking and choosing what you want. That's one. Number two, if you believe you're a Calvinist, you believe that babies in the womb or babies that aren't baptized all go to hell. That's awful.
Yeah, but
and then
they just deserve it. So, yeah. No, I get that. But the thing is that, anybody can go and point out how God isn't loving. Like, that's all throughout Scripture. So any Christian, I think, would have to say that, you don't have the definition of loving. God defines loving, so you're not in charge of that. And the Calvinists just go the hardest on that. And I think that the reason why I think it's logically consistent is because of God's sovereignty and how he's all powerful and all knowing, and he's the creator. I can't see how there would be any semblance of free will or any variable that he's not in charge of. So to commit to that makes sense to me.
They believe that he controls every breath, every word that comes out of their mouth, every piece of sand that moves on the beach. Type of control.
That's what makes sense.
They believe that God controls the molesting the child.
Yeah, and that makes sense
if you go out there and
logically.
you harm someone, they believe God made you do that.
Yeah, and that makes sense logically. That is the most logical form of Christianity. It isn't.
I don't know. I think it's a way for people to make excuses for their behavior, but that's
I get that, but the reason why Christians might say that, I'm not a Christian today because I wanted to sin. The motivation doesn't matter. What matters is the fact of the matter. And if you want God to be all powerful and all knowing and the creator, there's not a lot of room for free will there. He has to make things specifically and deliberately, knowing what's going to happen. he's put everything in place. So this is all just like some diabolical theater full of pain and suffering, where most people end up in hell to burn for eternity because he wanted it that way.
Well, I don't think free will is an accurate representation of what the scriptures describe. It describes free choice. He gave us choices. We're supposed to learn to make good decisions and bad decisions. Therefore, there's consequences to the good and bad decisions.
Yeah, so the Calvinists would
There's a parent, a parent can look at their child and say, hey, my kid's going to do something real stupid. And you can predict exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, and they're going to come crying to you and ask you to fix it. That doesn't mean you took away their free will. It just means you have the ability to see what they're going to do.
No, but the one part that you're missing is that, like, you didn't specifically create them. You didn't knit them together with foreknowledge and program their DNA and make them exactly who they are, knowing exactly what kind of environment they'd be in and how that would affect their DNA and what they would do based on that, and have full control over all of those parameters since the beginning of time. Like, that's a huge difference than just a parent kind of knowing their kid, right?
Well, I mean, parents have the ability to test their DNA to see how their children will turn out. They should be pre-planning the environment their child would be in and take out things that are harmful. So there are certain things in there that are parallel that aren't totally incomparable.
Yeah, but I mean, that's silly because God killed Jesus from the foundation of the earth. Like, he had this whole entire plan in motion from day one, knowing how it would pan out. And again, created everyone, not just like kind of knowing how nature was going to take its course possibly, and have some control over some environmental factors, but actually like deliberately. And Jesus had free will. There was a period of time where he didn't want to do it. He seriously considered not doing it. That's performative. Obviously, he didn't have to do it. There was no reason to do it. It was completely unnecessary. But the point is he is making everything from zero time, the right at the beginning, and like every single solitary parameter is set by this God. That there's no free will there, no free choice. It's all compelled. It's all determined.
Do you think that when you're planning ahead to have a child that you should plan ahead every single detail, or just whip it out one day and then hope everything comes together later?
Like, there's no analogy that can work here.
Yeah, that's not a good analogy. Because as a mother, and to be fair, Joel is so young, he doesn't have kids yet.
That's true.
And as a mother, like, I can just say, like, I really hate when people do that and compare me to, he's very young. They compare me to God, because I do not put all those parameters, like he's saying, in place. And if you have kids, and I don't know if you do, but I know a few of you do, if you have kids, if there's anything you learn as a parent, they will absolutely surprise you. They will absolutely do things that you thought they would never do. And according to this God, there is nothing I could do that would surprise him.
Well, that's a different way of looking at it. I don't disagree with that, Crystal.
But the other piece you have to really, like, I don't know, were you done? Because
Yeah, I was done.
No, I know you, but like Goofy, I don't know. There's a lot of emojis, but Joyful called you Goofy. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. No, but it's the creator aspect. So all knowing for sure is going to like eradicate free will, but this creator piece where God is like, I can't imagine a God sloppily creating, or like just like throwing ingredients into a bowl and going, well, I hope that's a cake. He's specifically and deliberately making you and Adam and Eve and every single other thing that makes up this world. And so if he's doing that, like building every little piece from scratch, knowing what, like how he creates those things, what that's going to, how that's going to turn out, and he could create things differently and they would end up differently. So he could change everything, all the outcomes at the point of creation. That's why I don't think there's any semblance for anything free that people do.
I think that's an interpretational difference. I think a lot of people subscribe to what you described, which is like he must know all the ratios for every single person who's ever going to exist, and he watches everyone with a microphone. I don't subscribe to that. The Bible is written in a lot of hyperbole and a lot of figurative language, and I believe that that's more of a racial, like a ratio, like a statistic that he can sit back and calculate and be like, statistically, it's all going to turn out like this because he knows that, but it's not zooming in on your life. Like,
okay, so God is just not all-knowing.
Well, again, that's defined by Scripture. How does Scripture define all-knowing?
I don't know.
Not what
You can just make it.
Bible
You can just make it up. So, what do you think all-knowing means?
I haven't looked up that term specifically to see how it's been translated and stuff. So
I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know that Scripture does a very good job at promoting God being all-knowing. But it's more of like a doctrinal point, like a church doctrine that God is all-knowing. William Lane Craig would say that God knows everything that will happen and all things that could happen. Like he just has like full, and he immediately knows all that knowledge all the time now.
I doubt Courtney subscribes to him, but
yeah, you might not agree with that, but I think that that's like probably pretty common church stuff. But like, the Bible, if you like read it, I don't think God seems like he knows anything. Like he's very confused and changes constantly, but like that's going against what Christians think God is. That's because the Bible doesn't match Christian doctrine.
Well, that's also because you have a lot of denominations, division, and indoctrinated people who aren't on the same page. So you're just trusting what other people tell you about their beliefs too, a lot of the time.
Well, it's kind of like what's widespread. Sorry about that, Pretty. Go ahead.
You're good. No, it's fine. I just wanted to ask you a quick question, Goofy. Do you think when they say that God knows the number of hairs on your head, that was just like figurative? And even if it was figurative, wouldn't it be pretty obvious that he's saying that he knows us all very personal individually?
No, because in the same Gospels, he said if your left hand causes you to sin, to cut it off, and we don't see people cutting their hands off. The Bible is filled with over 21 different types of figurative speeches and languages. That's an actual study that you can do all on its own, which is very
What would you make of that verse then?
That when you look at your child and you know them very well, you could say you know them as well as much as you would know every hair on their head because you just know them so well. And it's just a way that these people in that time probably used to describe knowing someone so well, because this is an ancient language. This isn't modern English this book was written in, so we can't read it as if it was written in modern 2025 English.
It's translated well enough. I think
it's translated, but we're talking language patterns and figuratives of speech that colloquially wouldn't be used the same in America as they would in a foreign country.
But then how do we take any of it for anything? Why don't we just go, well, this was all a bunch of analogies and figurative stuff to help people of that time. It's not written for me. I don't need to read this shit and I don't need to follow this stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to. So how do you, I ask my now ex this question, how do you decide what's figurative or what to take literal? Do you take it all figurative? Because I know there are some sects that do that. Or do you take it do you like decide as you read?
Scripture that says that Scripture supports Scripture. So you can go to the Old Testament and the New Testament and compare when it talks about heaven and earth literally in the Old Testament. And then you can look in the New Testament and see that a lot of times the same words or phrases are used, but the words are different, and you have to go word by word translation and compare if it's the same or not, and that can tell you. And based on reading the context, looking historically at what the Jews believed at that time, you have to look at all of those things. So you can't just read it one time and decide it on your own. There's so many things that.
Why would a God of all time make it so hard for people of our time to understand him, that we have to do all of that to grasp him? I mean, why a God of all people, all time? Why not just make it so we understand?
Just 1 second, guys. This is probably going to be like the last part. Goofy, I will let you have the last say, since it's kind of mismatched right now. But I have to get off in like 15 minutes, so we're going to have to end this, and I'd like to do a thing where me and Crystal talk for a minute at the end, because this is our finale. So I'm going to give Courtney the chance to answer to that, and then we are going to probably say bye to our guests, but I'd like to say bye individually, and then me and Crystal will be up here for a couple minutes, and then we're going to have to call it a night.
Can you repeat the question for me?
No. I don't remember what I asked you. I'm sorry.
I think
I have ADHD.
it was basically God must not want to have much of a relationship with us or reveal himself to us or have us know him if he's going to hide himself under layers and layers of hyperbole and figurative speech.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was only for the people at that time, and yeah, like it just doesn't seem like it's a God for all people for all times. It seems like they're God, and so again, it makes me feel like I don't need him.
So I'm going to give you what the Bible says, and then I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'll give them to you separately. The Bible says that he gave us everything we need to have faith, that he desires for all to be saved, which means in its own definition, and you can disagree, but this is the Christian perspective, that he's given us everything we need to succeed. We have to be the receptors of it. My opinion, or maybe not equal analogy of it is, which again, some people will nitpick because I didn't plan this ahead of time. It's like being in the Olympics. You don't win the gold medal just for putting in a little bit of effort. God wants the best. He wants the people who are willing to do whatever it takes to show that they love him and to do things his way.
Then I don't
and not
want
everyone
him.
gets a participation award, you know?
Yeah, I don't want him then. That seems like a very elitist God, and I don't want him. Like, if he made everybody and he thinks I'm not good enough for him, well, I'm going to leave him on read then. You know, I don't need him.
On read, girl, are you going to ghost him too?
Yeah, I'm going to ghost him.
I don't know if you can ghost the Holy Ghost. Ooh, woo!
That's the Goofy I know and love. Well, first,
No.
first I'm going to start off with Courtney. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for that discussion. I think that was an awesome discussion that was taking place there. Sorry I have to cut it short, but thank you for being here. You are always welcome.
Thank you.
Pretty Cat, I just met you this evening, like, talking. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have any last words?
No, you guys have a great evening. It's nice meeting you all.
You too.
You guys,
Thanks for being here.
everybody follow Pretty Cat before she draws people. Follow, please. Let's follow her. Amazing. Thank you for coming up.
Psych, thank you so much. Again, I will send you dates, and if you are interested in any of the dates I have open, get on, and, yeah. I'd be glad to have you.
Thank you very much. It was great to be here. I appreciate everything. I'll take a look at the schedule, and we'll coordinate. We'll see what we can do.
Right on. Thanks, man. You have a great night.
You too. Take care. Have a good
Nice
night.
meeting you, Psych. Thank you for coming up.
Joel, eat a dick, and
Yeah, you too. My love.
My love.
Your life be full of bushes.
I meant eat my
bushes.
dick, not
You drink bush
figuratively.
beer.
I meant it very seriously.
George Bush.
Yeah, it was not hyperbolic. I was being serious.
Now, Crystal is attacking me with all this fucking bush talk.
And then he drops. He's gonna say you got kicked too. Crystal, and this is our last live as host, co-host, and not that this is the last of me and Crystal. We will still be doing things together. We are still very much involved in each other's lives and lives. But we just have a lot going on between the two of us with our channels and new routes. Crystal has her Bible study. Crystal has Decon Q&A with Crystal J, and then she's going to be doing pop-up lives throughout the week where she has open discussions with people about different topics. Great thing. Crystal is very good at navigating those kind of conversations with kind of like a Daniel Green, having somebody that's willing to sit and have these conversations with you.
Up right now, guys, please. All right. Hello, do you support Trump? Dude. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Guys, please stop taking advantage of the queue. Only hop in the queue if you want to come up here and have a debate. Please. Hello, do you support Trump?
Oh, hello?
Hello, Logan.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Hello.
How old?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
18.
18 is...
February 7th, 2007.
You were born in the year 18? I'm kidding. Okay, why do you support Trump, Logan?
No. 2007.
Why do you support Trump?
Many reasons. One of them is that you're looking really jacked and you look really good.
Dude. Okay, listen, guys. Follow rules. Oscar! Thank you so much for the $11.11 over on Venmo. Oscar, it's good to see you. Thank you for your kindness. Let's see what Oscar has to say. Probably the most interesting thing going on because literally nobody wants to debate. What does Oscar say? Oscar says, this is why I don't leave the house. Well, I mean, right now the debates are pretty bad, so I feel bad. But Oscar, thank you for the $11.11. Everybody, show some love to Oscar. Down below. While we're trying to find one Trump supporter to debate. Listen, there is 8,000 people in the TikTok live right now. And you're telling me, okay, there's not one person that has a spine that wants to debate? Oh, come on, guys. What's up? Well, I'm not going to call you that. I about called you mommy. I can't be doing that. What should I call you? You're going to have to give me a name to call you here. Okay, well, they're not even here, so we're going to kick them and move on to the next guest. Here we go, everyone. Guys, be patient. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Everybody just be patient. Here we go. Hello, do you support Trump? Dude, hell yeah! Another non-debate guest. Nice. That is great. Quite frankly, dude, tonight is going swimmingly. Everybody, wow! Lena and Christian, hi guys. Oh, and now we got MAK in here too. There's 3 people in here. Question: out of the 3 of you guys, how many of y'all are American adults and support Trump?
Trump is daddy.
The third one? Okay. Well, the first 2, they don't even want to talk, just like the last 1,000,000,001 guess. So you, MAK, how old are you? Oh, he left. Oh, okay. He didn't want to debate. He didn't want to do it. Hello, do you support Trump, HS?
I'll be honest, bro. I just came here because I saw 8K viewers and was like, fuck it, let me get my profile.
All right, guys, if we don't get a guest up here in the next 5 minutes, we are just going to go ahead and end the stream around an hour early today. It's not something that I want to do, but it is something that I will do. So if we don't get a next guest up here in 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and end. Welcome in, Vinny. Do you support Trump?
I just wanted to say you are one of my transition goals as a trans man. I love you so much, Dean.
Well, based. That is very based. That is very, very based. But we are only looking to talk to Trump supporters. No lived out great human beings allowed right now. We're just looking for Trump supporters, but based. Hello, do you support Trump?
Smoking an anxiety joint right now. It's awesome.
Based, but do you support Trump?
You should hit your anxiety pen.
Wait,
Jill.
you can't say that word on TikTok Live. I was about to let you say up, but I realized you can't say that word on TikTok Live. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Give us a minute. Dude, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I sent you money on PayPal. I just want to make sure you got it because I didn't get a shout out.
What was
I want to make sure I sent it to the right person.
What was the first name under?
It was Stevie.
Okay, I'll check. As soon as we get our next guest up in here, I will check. But we need to get our next Trump supporter in here. Everybody, look at me. Quite frankly, from the bottom of my heart, please follow the rules. Are you curious about what the rules are? It's got to be 18. Got to support Trump. You know what? We're going to do something new. We are going to innovate. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay? All right. Only join if, let's see here, 18 plus American MAGA. Yippee! There we go, everybody. This is how we're going to get it done. Okay. Only join if you are 18 plus, you are an American, and you're MAGA. For everybody watching right now, the rules are literally on top of me. These should be very easy to follow, everybody. Look at how easy it is. That's right. You got the rules on the screen right in front of you. Every single person in here can see them. Every single person in here can feel them. And every single person in here better be following them if you're going to join the stream. So we're going to go ahead and give it a second to tell every person to leave the box unless you're following these 3 rules. Everybody, okay. All right. Leave the box if you are not following these 3 rules. Moving on to the hopeful first guest. Hello, Brooklyn. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
24.
What year were you born in?
2001.
Okay. Do you have any type of Bluetooth device connected to your phone?
No.
All right. Maybe it works. We'll see. Maybe it works. Okay. Here's the deal, Brooklyn. Tell us why the hell you support such a terrible president.
I don't know. I just kind of feel like he took a shot for our country, and
so if he didn't get shot and Kamala Harris got shot, would you have voted for Harris?
possibly.
Well, it's not going to be possibly in retrospect. It would have been certainly or no. Which one would you have or would you have not?
Yeah, if she would have been a better candidate.
Okay, so you don't really care about what they want to do to or for this country?
Oh, of course.
Well, I mean, your last argument would indicate otherwise. Okay, it's a troll. I don't know how to make it any more apparent who we want to talk to. Look at the screen. Hello. Look at the screen. What does it say? Only join if 18 plus. What? American. Hold on. MAGA. Oh shit. That's the rules. Look at it, everybody. That is great. That is great. Yippee. Okay. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. We're going to keep the rules on the screen until we're able to get somebody in here to debate, because at this point, it is just unreal. Hello, Garrett.
Hey.
What's up, Garrett? Do you support Trump?
Up until the late 90s, people either listened to sorry. I had to jump out for a second there. I had something going there. Yeah, I think he's the future of politics.
Oh, okay. So why do you think this guy's a good president? I mean, he sucks. He fucking sucks for this country in every single way imaginable. His domestic policy is shit. His foreign policy is shit. His character is shit. Why are you a fan?
Because he tells it how it is.
He does not tell it how it is. He tells lies. He told over 30,000 lies during his first term, and he lied about releasing the Epstein files. He lied about ending the Russia-Ukraine war on day one. He lied about cutting prices so fast on day one your head would spin. He lied about building the wall. He lied about passing the infrastructure bill. He lies a lot.
He does lie a lot, but also, when you think about it, think about this, okay, Dean? My brother's named Dean, by the way, and I have a slight affinity towards you because of that. But think about this. Either way, the way capitalism works with the government and the way that the whole entire thing is structured, does it really make a difference, really?